going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Yo, what's going on? Can y'all hear me well? Can y'all hear me well? Let me know if you can hear me inside of the chat. Let me know if you can hear me inside of the chat. I might have to. All right, y'all can hear me well? All right, good. What up? Hold on, let me switch over real quick. I want to make sure y'all can still hear me well. All right, can y'all hear me better? Can y'all hear me well still? Let me know if y'all can still hear me well. All right, good. Somebody said you sound a little tired. Who said that? Who said that? Let me see where that's at. Yes, it's louder now. You can hear me crystal clear. My girl sister said I'm sounding a little tired. I don't know if I would say that I'm tired. I would say that been traveling. I've been traveling. So as you can see, we still don't miss. I did have to move up take a flight yesterday. So first, let me extend my apologies for not being able to live stream yesterday. But yesterday was a travel day. But I am going to have a Saturday show, and I know how much y'all love Saturday shows. Saturday shows be different. It'd be crazy because we ain't got to worry about the daycares. But I had to take a 4.5 hour flight, almost 5 hour flight over here on the West Coast. I never stayed at this hotel. It's dope. It's really, really dope. So let me show you. Give me a second. Let me see if I can show you this. So if you want to go to a Laker game, right? And it looked really, really crazy at night. If you want to go to a Laker game, you're right there. You're literally right there if you want to go to a Laker game. You know what I'm saying? So it is. It's a really, really perfect spot. It looked like they building some more over there. I don't know what they building over there. And then I can actually see the building that got all of the graffiti on it. It looked like they trying to finish it. The building that got all the, I don't know if y'all remember the building that I reported on last year that had all of the graffiti on it right here next to Crypto Arena. It's right there. Let me see if I can show it to y'all. Can you see it right there? So it's literally right there, and it's all of the graffiti going up and down it. And the city had a problem with trying to get it, but it looked like it's glass everywhere. I don't know how they're gonna fix. I don't know what the progress is of that. Oh snaps! There's graffiti all over that building, all over the buildings, all next to it. I didn't even realize it, because that's the Chase building right there. All right, so let me show you. That's the Chase building right there. Right now, I thought that it was just this building right here. I thought it was just this building, but it's all over this building. It's all over, all up and down this whole building. How do you let that happen in Los Angeles? How do you let that happen? How do you let your downtown just completely go to hell like that? That's crazy. It's all up and down those buildings too. Shoot. It's like a bunch of buildings this way too that they got it all up and down. It's tripped out when you see when you report on it, and that's why I like getting out and about. It's tripped out when you report on it versus actually seeing it in person. Seeing it in person is different. So yeah, Los Angeles is different, man. It's different out here. But I didn't get in till your car. What time I go to sleep? Eastern time. 4:30 a.m. 4:30 a.m. is the time that I went to sleep last night. Because I had to get settled, but I had some more work to do when I got in. So once I got in, I made sure that I got some more work done, and I had to take care of business, and we had to get it in. But the weather is nice. They said the graffiti is called dirt. Yeah, about 4 a.m. Eastern time, which was 1:30 out here, right? So you still got to deal with the time zone difference. I keep two phones, so one of them is West Coast time, and one of them West Coast time, one of them is Eastern. And we working, man. You work no matter what happened. That's the difference between winners and losers, and people that need to have a regular job versus hustlers. Whenever I see people say stuff like, "Oh man, I need to start my own business and stuff like that because I want to control my own schedule and do what I want to do." I remember it was a video of a woman that said she can't talk to a guy that got a 9 to 5 because he can't control his own schedule, and the dude need to be able to move around whenever she move around. If she want to go on vacation and need to go on vacation, all of that. And I was thinking to myself, when she was doing that video, I don't even think that I did a reaction to that video, but I was thinking to myself when she did that video, don't you know that when you talk to an entrepreneur, and this is, I'm gonna tell you for the ladies and I'm gonna tell you for the fellas, and then we're gonna get into the show. When you talk to a person that works for themselves, 19 times out of 20, I'm not even gonna say 9 out of 10, because 9 out of 10, that reduces it to 90%. I need to up it to at least 95% of all entrepreneurs. 95%, 19 out of 20. I don't know if they taught y'all that in math class, but we're going to have a little bit of a math session. 19 times out of 20, it's harder to spend time with a person that is an entrepreneur, like a true entrepreneur, not a hobby, not somebody that's, just trying to get their business up and running and they doing it part-time. I'm talking about somebody that lives and dies, does it for a living. You eat what you kill. And the only way that you go and get it is you getting out there to get it. It's 10 times harder to deal with a person that runs their own company, runs their own businesses, is dependent on themselves as a spouse or as a person that is in a relationship with that type of person than it is dealing with the person that works a 9 to 5. For all of the people, for the guys that think that you're going to free yourself up and that you're going to be able to do what you want to do when you want to do it, you surely are. You'll be poor. You'll be poor. You're better off getting a regular job that gives you structure. You can get weekends off.
You can make sure that you're at home by 5:30. You can play video games as much as you want to play it. If you want if you want work-life balance, but the trade-off is that you don't get to be super rich or you don't get to have the opportunity. Because see, that's what real entrepreneurship is. It's not that you're going to get rich. It's not that you're going to be successful. You're not guaranteed anything. You're guaranteed that if you don't eat or if the people don't respond to your product, that you can go bankrupt. You're guaranteed that you can put all your money into it and it still won't be successful. Entrepreneurship, capitalism in the United States of America is the opportunity to take a chance to possibly be successful. And then you still got to deal with politicians that's sitting there talking about tax the rich. When I see these fat back liberals with pink hair laying on a fat backs in a park in New York that's funded by the 1%, and everything that they see around them, all of the infrastructure and everything is funded by the 1%. And they're sitting there eating their fat back donuts. And they don't do anything every day. But their entire lifestyle, the opportunity to do the things that they're doing, to lay their fat backs in a park and fish for change inside of the water fountains that is funded by the 1%. When I see them laying around, and then here's the tripped out part about it. This is the great part about it. An entrepreneur gets the opportunity to try to come up with funding, try to market themselves effectively, work their ass off. Most entrepreneurs are working at least 80, 90, 100 hours a week. And you have the opportunity to possibly be successful. And then you then give jobs and you create an economy and you create a space where other people are able to feed their families. And then you have people that'll sit there and say, hey, man, you need to pay more of your fair share. I don't see you working more than my fair share. I don't see you hustling. I don't see you taking a chance. I don't see you grinding. I don't see you taking flights from coast to coast. You know what I like to do the most? I like to watch basketball games in person. You know how many basketball games I've been to this year? Pistons is number one in the East. It's the greatest time to be a Pistons fan in the city of Detroit. We just destroyed the Knicks, beat them by 30. We doing incredibly well. Number one in the East. ESPN is talking about us, and I've probably been to maybe 3-4 games total. I got a season ticket package. You know who gets to enjoy it? You know who gets to enjoy it? All of my people get to enjoy it. They all be at the game. My brothers, friends, they hit me. Oh man, it was an awesome game. Everybody else gets to enjoy your fruits of your labor. I was talking to my daughter yesterday, and she was like, Dad, you really take care of everybody. Listen, a large portion, not my entire family. I have a big family, like extended family, right? A large portion of my family depends on me for their housing, for their food, for their vehicle transportation, all of that stuff. Real men don't complain about the grind that they have to put in. And guess what? Everybody depends on you. And I was talking to my daughter and she said, everybody is dependent on you to be successful. I said, this is what real men are about. I said, you're old enough to understand it now. You get it why I work so hard. A lot of times children or younger people or even spouses and relationships, they're like, just spend more time. Just spend more time with me. I don't have no time to spend with you. I'm limited. I'm capped on what I can do when I'm around you. What I can do when I'm around you. And so, a lot of people keep saying that same old rhetoric. You got these senators like Bernie Sanders, who has never in his life worked a regular job. Not one time. This nigga talk for a living. He ain't nothing but a content creator. Most of these senators, the Jasmine Crockett's, the Bernie Sanders, the AOCs, they content creators, bro. You know what their job is? To fundraise. They'll sit there and say that you funding they salary, and they'll tell you that you ain't paying your fair share and you killing yourself every day. You hustling, grinding, flights here, flights there. employees, dealing with people and their emotions, trying to get teams together, right? Taking in consideration everybody else and what they got to deal with. You know who I get to go to and cry and complain to? God. Don't nobody care about what I'm thinking. Ain't nobody checking for me. Ain't nobody reprogramming my sleep schedule and all of that type of stuff. Ain't nobody trying to figure out. I get to go to God. That's it. Is God? Hey God, this is what's happening. How should I handle this? Then it's me. Then it's everybody else that you got to take care of and make sure that they straight. And the complaints is never gonna stop. You're never gonna spend enough time. You're never gonna have enough money. You're never gonna have enough money because if you want to do more. You want to make sure, and I ain't even talking about money to do what you want to do. I'm talking about money to take care of the community. You want to build more housing. You want to make sure you feed more families. You want to contribute more. You want to make sure that all of your people have more. You want to give better experiences to people. You want to make sure your employees is paid more. You want to pay them the most that they've ever had in their entire life. You want to create an experience to where you take care of everybody else and you literally put yourself last. But the only thing that they highlight is Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Larry Ellison, and Tim Cook. Look at how much CEOs make. Man, the average CEO only pays himself probably less than $100,000 a year. The average CEO cannot pay himself as much as they could because they are too busy reinvesting back into the company, reinvesting back into the people, making sure that everything is taken care of. And most of their business expenses are continuing to balloon because as inflation and as the economy goes up and as the cost of money goes up, your costs as a business owner go up too. Your costs as a business owner goes up with it. You don't get to make excuse. When I take a flight over to the West Coast, that comes out of my pocket. Nobody cares about whether or not hey, listen, you got to take a flight. You got a 4.5 hour flight. What you gonna do? Well, still got to get these videos out. Still got to take care of this business. Still had to go over and look at the real estate. Still had to go over there and take care of this. Still had to take care of that. Nobody cares. And then you still got to have a relationship. And guess what? When you're dealing with a relationship, oh my God, I I don't care. This. Let me tell y'all what women say. I don't care about this stuff. I only want more time with you. Well, listen, time is finite. I don't have enough of it. So here's some more stuff. Keep yourself occupied, please. I want to spend my time. Caught between a rock and a hard place. Now get poor. Become poor. And have all of the time in the world to spend with her. You're just not self motivated. I hear it from people on the internet all the time. I need a guy to match my energy. I need a guy that's gonna go to places that you don't know nothing about this life. You don't know nothing about this life. This ain't for you. I see most women are fake entrepreneurs, bro. Most women's businesses are funded by men that continue to try to keep them happy. All of their little restaurants, their little flower shops, all of their little boutiques and businesses. It's a losing operation. All you doing is continuing to try to make it seem like she a boss chick so that she can take some pictures for the gram and impress her friends. She ain't doing nothing. Everything that they got, all of these women that y'all see as boss chicks, that's a man behind that. Somewhere, somehow, they on the plane, they first class in it, they having a good time. Oh my God, look at me, G wagon. It's a man somewhere or men plural somewhere that's funding that lifestyle. But you think she buy her own stuff? You think she started her own business? That's a money losing operation for love. That's what love is. Love is a money losing operation. That's why when dudes is running up a bag and taking care of business, let that man move around and do what he got to do. So he got a little couple little holes over there, got a couple little scallywags over here. Don't trip. Don't trip. Don't even trip. Don't even trip. You're a money losing operation. Don't even worry about it. Let that man move around how he got to move around. He already stressed out. He already stressed out. Listen. I cannot give you any more honest to God truth than that right there. Regular people have regular options because they do regular shit. Irregular, abnormal, excellent people, they have abnormal, excellent options, but they suffer. It's always going to be a pendulum. It's always going to be a balance. Somewhere in there, it's going to be a balance. You want baseline, you're going to get baseline. You're going to get baseline lifestyle. You're going to get 9 to 5. You're going to come home every day. And that's just the life. You get you a Honda Accord, maybe 5, 6 years old. If you don't want no debt, you're going to have to probably take out student loans for your kids in order for them to go to school. And you got to hope that one of them becomes successful so they can supplement your lifestyle when they get older. You want an abnormal, crazy, better than average crypto arena, first class all the time. Daughters, kids, everybody got cars, clothes, opportunity, jobs. He's not a regular guy. Stop trying to place him in the regular guy's shoes. There's going to be some abnormal activities. This guy, he thinks differently. He chases greatness. He don't sleep because he can't sleep because the only thing he think about. You know what I was dreaming about last night? I couldn't even go to sleep. I went to bed at 4:30 a.m. Eastern time. And we about to get into the show. Just waiting for y'all to gather in. I went to bed at 4:30 a.m. Eastern time. And you know what you know what I was thinking about? Man, numbers over here, got to do this, schedule, timeline. And eventually you think yourself to sleep. And this is the honest to God truth. I tire myself out thinking, you know what I woke up with? Honestly, when I woke up this morning, I had my budget on my phone and I was figuring it out. When I woke up this morning, I was literally going over January numbers so I could make sure that stuff is structured for the end of the month. And I was like this. And it seemed like 5 minutes later, because when you're tired, time go like that. Even though you were asleep for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 minutes later, the alarm was like, and you know what happens when alarm go off? It's almost like people are waiting for your alarm to go off to call you. Get 30 calls. This person got a problem. Hey, what's going on? Hey, are you up? Hey, this has happened. Hey, this is that. And it's just normal life. It's normal life. It's nothing that you complain about. I'm very thankful. I am very blessed. I would not trade my life for anything in the world. I do not ever in my life want to ever have to depend on a 9 to 5 to survive. Um, it's a blessing. And it's life. It's just life. You're never ever going to please everybody. Nobody is ever going to be completely satisfied with it. But it's just life. It's life. So be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you ask for, and make sure that you're prepared to even be able to handle the blessing that God gives you. It's a blessing to be able to take care of other people, but it's going to take a toll. It's a blessing to be able to have your own business and work relentlessly, but it's going to cost you sleep. It's a blessing to be able to have children, but there's going to forever be a cost that's associated with making sure that they're taken care of, and you always going to be worried about it. You know what I'm saying? So everything that you get is going to come with a cost. Ask yourself, how much are you willing to pay? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right. Ask yourself how much you're willing to pay. I'm in the gym now, right? Almost every day, I'm paying attention. I'm very dedicated to what I eat. I try to work out at least 3 or 4 times a week. All of that, right? But here's the thing: if I wasn't an entrepreneur, because you can go back and look at some of my old videos, if I wasn't an entrepreneur, I would already be dog walking you when it comes to fitness. That's what my type of dedication is. The only reason that I'm not already beating you in that is because I'm relentless when it comes to the pursuit of my goals. And so a lot of times I put everything else on the back burner and I zero in and I tunnel vision that shit. But if I just lived a regular everyday life and I went to the 9 to 5 and I just did 9 to 5, you would be dog walked all day long. The only reason that you fit is because you poor. Most of you. I'm just, I'm just telling you the truth. Most niggas that spend all of their time in the gym are poor. Not all. Not all. Not all. I'm just listen, 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 listen. Most niggas that spend all of their time in the gym, most, not all. Don't get offended. It's not applicable to you if you're not one of them. I'm telling you that most niggas that spend all day in the gym, they don't have a pot to piss in. What you think that if Bill Gates or even Elon Musk dedicated himself in a way that if he didn't have Tesla and was obsessed with going to Mars, you think you would beat this nigga? You can't beat him. He don't even sleep. He sleep on a factory floor. You don't change your stripes. You just apply what you do to a different area of your life when you no longer have the capacity to do it. I'm telling you the truth. You don't change. You don't sleep more. People think that if you was to trade in your entrepreneur life, that you would automatically start to get more sleep. You don't change that. You become more obsessive with other things in your life. You have to schedule that shit. And so it has to be something that is very intentional. It's not because of a lack of discipline, it's because you just don't have the capacity and you're coping. Y'all ready to get started with the show? Okay. All right. So let me break it down for you. Since that's so hard for y'all, since that's so hard for y'all to accept, why do you think that the baddest chicks are not in corporate America? They don't have their own businesses. They not working 10, 12, 13 hours. Why do you think that most of the chicks that run up a bag, the big lawyers and all of that shit, why do you think they frumpy? Since it's hard for you to look at it from that lens, all right? Why do you think that women that are corporate baddies and all of this shit, why do you think that they frumpy? Why do you think that men complain about women that focus so much on their careers and they look frumpy all the time? Maybe you, because see, most of the time, guys can't get it when it's applicable to guys, and so you have to use a woman as an example that they complain about. They complain about these very same women. I don't want no woman that's a bad chick or a boss chick. I don't want no woman that focuses on her career. It's not that you're worried about her career. You don't like her lifestyle that then reflects on what she looked like. They be stressed the fuck out. They coping. They don't have the same amount of time, and they moving like men, which they then start to look like them. It's the honest to God truth. Women that chase like men, if they not surgery, if they not just regularly getting lipo and shit like that, They fucked up. They fucked up. Straight up. Fucked up. Fucked up. No, 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 no. He said, I seen some baddies in corporate America. I'm not talking about women that work in corporate America. I'm talking about women that chase greatness, the ones that are up the ladder. When you look at female CEOs, look at Mary Barra, right? Mary Barra, the CEO of General Motors. Nigga, she tired as fuck. Have you seen her? They take drugs, sleeping pills just to fall asleep at night. They have failing relationships, all of that shit. I'm not talking about a woman that goes to work in corporate America. There's plenty of people that have a job. I'm talking about women that identify themselves as corporate baddies. They are fucked up, bro. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. Do you know the women that look the best? Want to know what the women that look the best? Want to know what they do? They may have a job to keep them occupied. They getting flown out. They getting flown out. They sitting at home. You know what they do? Let me tell you what they do. It's the honest to God truth. And I put this on everything. They sleep more. They are fucking babies. They sleep like babies. They take more naps. They sleep for 10 fucking hours, 12 hours a day. Then they wake up, go to the gym, and then they complain about the fact that they got to do a work from home meeting. They fucking babies. Their bodies is just repairing all day. And then they have time to be able to go to the gym. And they do it. All they do is nap. Oh, trust me, trust me, trust me. I know. All they do is nap. They just sleep all fucking day. Nap, 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 nap. And I ain't mad at them. They focus on their skincare routines and all of that type of stuff. They are not spending all of their energy. Bro, I know women. I'm on the West Coast now. I ain't got nothing better to do. Ain't nobody here. It's just 100% me. All right. Right. All I had was drinks. Just drinks. All right. I know women that refuse, and I'll be telling them, like, yeah, that ain't what you want. You don't want that life. Refuse to take a promotion because they like, wait a minute, I'm gonna have to manage people and be dealing with all the hell no. Hell no. Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. They like, fuck that. I'm not about to be Fannie Willis. Fannie Willis. Fannie Willis could be a baddie, but she a fatty. And you know why she a fatty? Because she's stressed the fuck out. That's why her attitude is bad. That's why she's frumpy. That's why she got a flip neck because she used to being in a masculine role. That's what it is, bro. Y'all keep saying, why black men die early? Why do men die earlier than women? All you fucking do is nap. You got a preservation of organs right there. You're a fucking 20-year-old in a 40-year-old body because you just sleep all day. That's why. And again, I'm not mad at it, but understand that the dynamics is different. Women that look the best, and I ain't even talking about like how they're born. I'm talking about how well they're taken care of. If you ever see a woman out shopping on Rodeo Drive or whatever your major city is, Somerset, Brickell down in Miami, the Design District, and you see these women and they getting into these cars, it's kept hoes, nigga. All of them hoes is kept. That's some nigga's chick. That's why they won't talk to you. They like, nigga, and 22 seconds in their mind, they've already did the cost benefit analysis. So wait a minute. He trying to holler at me, but this nigga does not meet the expectations of what my lifestyle. I'm not giving up my lifestyle for you. Nigga, they be holding on for dear life. Oh God, no, please don't, no, please don't go. They be holding on for dear life, nigga. They not trying to leave that, taking all of them good naps so that they can go out there and hustle for themselves. What you talking about? Talking about Willis. Why? So you can send, so you can have to plan a trip on a Spirit flight to a destination that she has to make a sacrifice in, and that bitch get everything that she want. What you think that is? Anytime she go out of town, nigga, she first class in hotel rooms, cars. Nigga, I know women that don't even carry money. I know women that don't even carry money. Everywhere they go, it just be, all right, I'm taken care of. Okay, what am I do? Uh, they're like babies. They're like babies. They're just like babies. Am I saying too much? Early in the morning for the first 35 minutes? Okay, I'm sorry. We can get back to the show. I'm sorry. Y'all ready to get into the show? Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. They're just like babies. Just like babies. Letitia James. Look like Shrek's wife on facts. Listen, most women have the capability to at least get to a 6. From like body wise and care. Man, these women are out here frumpy as fuck because they have decided that they wanted to live the life of a man. They have decided that they wanted to live the life of the man. Women that are smart, they like, oh no, you the king. I'll do whatever it is that you say. Thank you, daddy. Thank you, daddy. I'm about to be out here living this hard life. It's hard out here in these streets. I'm about to be out here struggling. The smart ones don't struggle. The wise ones make adjustments. Y'all be asking me, Anton, why your mother always so submissive to you? Because I take care of her. What are you talking about? Hey, Anton, um, I need to do this. I'm trying to go out of town. Where you trying to go? Out the country. Oh, okay. Um, you know what I need, boy. All right, I got you. What you think? My mom got remarried like that. These hoes be out here. I can't find a man. Her husband came to me and the boys, and he cool. That's my dog. I love him. He a real one. He came and he said, "Hey, Anton, what do you think about me marrying mama?" I said, "You ready for that? Is that what you want? You sure you want that, dog? You don't want that, my nigga. You don't want that. You don't want this life. This not the life you want. This not the life that you used to." So, but I love her. I said, "Okay, okay, all right. You think I'm lying? Y'all think I just be talking shit? I don't talk shit. I talk truth." And because it's so real, it sounds crazy. She probably still asleep. Probably still asleep. Called her yesterday. It was late in the day. She said, "Hey, Anton, what's going on? Oh, I was just relaxing." I said, "Damn, what? You taking a nap already?" Anyways, make sure make sure you hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. I'm sorry, y'all. I got a little bit derailed, but that's what we can do when we own our own show. Don't worry, we gonna get to the subjects. We gonna get to the subjects. First, I want to say shout out to my dog, Mike that dude that held me down. Thank you, Mike that dude, for showing me love. Rand Wilson said, I sent you an email for your profiling segment. We're gonna get the profiling tomorrow and Saturday because we got a lot to cover because I didn't do a show yesterday. And we had shootings in Minneapolis, and we have oil in Venezuela to go and get. The housing market, Trump is talking about reforming the housing market. And so it's some really big developments on that I want to share with you guys. So we got politics, money, international politics, Somalis. We got to cover it all. All right. Thank you to Spencer Campbell. I also want to say shout out to Spencer Campbell. Thank you to hold me down, big dog. Manny Plays PC says Protester Down is a wild title. That's all I can think of. That's all I can think of, Manny. We'll get there. We're about to get there in a minute. Flywell says, good morning, everybody. Supton, I wanted to say thank all of the bag chasers for helping me to get through what I went through yesterday. Shout out to you, Flywells, man. And shout out to the bag. If y'all not a part of the Patreon, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I think I got a new video dropping today, so that's for y'all. Eric TV says, good morning, AD. Wish you a blessed day and night. We do have after hours tonight, so that's going to be awesome. Happy Thursday, AD&P, says Chase Barnes. I'm glad the travel time was great. Man, they told, you know what they announced when I got on the plane? We have good news and we have bad news. I said, oh, shit. She says, the bad news is the Wi-Fi is out. I said, rebuke the devil. The devil is a lie. It is a lie. And he said, the good news is the pilot lives in Los Angeles, so he's really eager to get home. That's what she said. Graffiti call RAD says it's Eric TV. Chase Barm says, also AD, I used your slow motion line on a woman at my job the other day. She like, slow motion? I literally smiled because I thought I had, because you thought I had cursed. Use what you need to use to get what you need to get, big dog. Cam and Jim back at it again. I've seen that TS car wash in detail. Eric TV says, I'm IE, Cali Ninja, shout out Paris, Cali, P-Town. Sapphire C10 says, yo, AD, when is the next stock club and mastermind session? I am missing them in the Patreon. We just got into the beginning of the year, it's the beginning of the month. Stock club should be, I got to do Adam 22, and we got to do a makeup show on Saturday. I might do one this Saturday. I might do one Saturday evening. I gotta catch another. I'll figure it out. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. You're gonna see it posted either today or tomorrow. I'm posting another video today, and then we got a stock club coming up. So you're gonna see the date posted in the Patreon probably today or tomorrow. TS Car Wash and Detail Services. Yeah, we always working. This payroll ain't gonna pay itself. JD says, good morning, AD. Lord, let us pray for AD and all of the bag chasers traveling, adding value to their community and family. Lord, guide them to make the right decisions and the righteous path during these times. Amen. Thank you for the prayers. Cameron Pritchett says, how is Detroit fitness culture? It's dope. They got run clubs, got a lot of stuff popping off, a lot of gyms. Is it possible to establish ownership, opening up a gym, or make decent amount of money from it, in your opinion? I got some friends that own some gyms. So if y'all want me to bring them on Patreon, I could talk about it, about the logistics of what it takes in order to run a bag up in the gym culture. I don't know. I don't know what the numbers are with the gym culture. So I got friends, though, that can talk about it. They have literally opened up their own gyms. Brian, the filmmaker, my dog, says, you see black faith leaders protesting in Chicago in front of the Trump Towers about their property taxes. They're trying to blame Trump for this. That's Brandon Johnson's problem. Why they going to Trump? That's Brandon Johnson. That ain't got nothing to do with Trump. Property taxes in Chicago don't have nothing to do with Trump. I'm going to add that to the list for tomorrow. You cooking AD, we definitely had the same mindset, and only women who tell me I work so hard. Shout out to my girl, Mika says, good morning, AD. I care for you. How's your day? Stay blessed. Oh, you so sweet. You so sweet. Hey, Mika was supposed to be with me right now. No, but Mika, she has some other stuff that she had to take care of. So, but she will be with me because Mika's supposed to be out here with me to go on this little podcast tour thing that I got going on. But she will join me for the second half of the tour. So shout out to Mika, my girl. She gonna be here on the second half of the tour. Enos Louie says, did you see the clip of Shiloh and Deion Sanders roasting his brother for carrying a purse? And Shador was trying to defend that junk. Yes, I am old. I said junk. Shador should be listening to shampoo. Maybe I'll add that as a subject. Let me add that. Man wearing. I'm gonna ask that question tonight. Eric says, speaking of the 1%, did you see where Trump will try to ban institute? Yeah, I'm talking about that today. So that's gonna be a part of the end of the show. I'm literally talking about that today. I'm gonna go over that today, Eric. Banning institutional investors from purchasing single family homes. This will be a great policy. You in the chat, we're talking about this. I'm going over it. It's a part of the show today. That's the money segment. Bam Bam Lynch says today is my 30th. Happy birthday, bro. And my new job, 2 times the income. Happy birthday, Bam Bam. Bam Bam is a bag chaser. So shout out to the chasers. 2 timing their money for their birthday. Happy birthday, my guy. They call me Mr. Bibb says, he's right. I lost half my income because she wanted more time. Now she's not here. Never sacrifice. Entrepreneurship means it's all on you, says Marcelio. I worked from 8 a.m. to 12:30, pick up my kids, went back to work at 5:30, came home, cooked dinner, then went back to work until midnight, all because my employees called out sick. It's crazy life. It's a crazy life. Carrington Love Jr. says work-life balance is a girl term. 100%. Also, men start a service business, not products. Facts. If you buy the tools and equipment, you will not fail in America. It's no way a diesel mechanic can fail. You are 100% correct. Jeremy Clay says, that's real, Anton. I was in the best shape of my life when I was in the gym 2 hours, 2.5 hours a day, but I was broke as hell. Thank you. Finally, somebody understand what I'm talking about. Brandon Burke says, AD, you preaching. My wife got about 2 businesses and trying to start a third. They don't make no money, and I funded them all, but but keep her busy, so we good. That's all we doing is keeping y'all busy. Trill Mercy says, facts, AD, I've been using your formula, and yes, it's taxing, but I be feeling good, enjoying the work that I put in. Eric says, wow, AD, so fit ninjas are poor. AD, I'm out of line? I don't know. Mika is fine. What do you think Mika do when she first get up in the morning? Never mind. She old as F. She my mom age. Wait, so what you saying is true, but you still stressing me out. Ari, listen, the women will tell you that I'm telling you the absolute truth. I live in the gym, poor with a bad body build. Won't apologize for better health, beauty first. Well, of course, you're supposed to. You're a woman. Appreciate the knowledge. What's up with the hats? It's coming this weekend. Long Way ENT says, did you see Queen's Flip interview with a Somali Leering Center owner? I seen he was out there. Shout out to Queen's Flip. Philip Sadiq says, come down to Oakland, California. We ain't that bad. I don't know. I got a strict, tight agenda. I might come down to Oakland. I like Oakland. Shout out to Filthy Rich. Shout out to LaRussell. Shout out to Yuck Mouth. Shout out to Yuck Mouth. I love Yuck Mouth, my guy. Anton King says, Anton, a chick who got shot 100% hit the cop. You need to watch the front angle. You see him get pushed back by the car. Got the link if you need it. We're about to go over it right now. Thank you to everybody that support the platform. Y'all ready to get into the show? Don't matter if we on the West Coast, we still start the show at the same time. Thank you to everybody that hold us down. Crown me says work-life balance is the worst, honestly. I'm trying to be out conquering the world. You just got to really just make it up in your mind that, you're not going to make no compromises and the people going to have to adjust according to whatever you say they're going to do. That's really what it comes down to. All right, I'm going to continue to read Super Chat shortly. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is Renee Nicole Good. All right, now I'm not going to go over her directly yet. We're going to address who she was and why she was out there in the first place in the third segment of the show. Second segment of the show, we're going to talk about Tim Walz and Jacob Fry, and we're going to go over their reaction. But the first segment of the show is addressing the issue itself. And so this woman, along with a bunch of other white apologists, I'm going to keep it 100 with you, white apologists and liberals, chase down ICE agents, track them down, make their lives difficult, protest for Somalis, Somali fraud, and they're always on the wrong side of history. But they're out there. They're definitely out there. And this is a situation where somebody got involved in some shit that they wasn't supposed to be in, and they fucked around and found out. Let's get into it.
A US immigration officer has shot dead a woman in Minneapolis, sparking a row between the Trump administration and local officials over who is to blame. The Department of Homeland Security claimed the woman had tried to run over officers with her car and called it an act of terrorism. Minnesota's Governor Tim Walz labelled the claims as propaganda, but President Trump, who's ordered the immigration raids, accused the victim of viciously running over the agent. Here's our North America correspondent Nada Tawfik and a warning that her report has images which you may find distressing.
Shame! Shame! Shame!
All right, before we even get into this, before we even get into the footage, what the fuck they doing out there, bro? What are they doing? Of all of the things that you could be doing throughout the day, we got real issues. Ain't nobody feeding the homeless. Ain't nobody volunteering to clean up no park. Ain't nobody showing up at no school to ensure that the children is getting all of the assistance. What are we doing? What are these people out there advocating for Somali fraud? Guess what I've never seen before? I have never in my life ever seen a group of Somalis that mobilized for anything when it comes to Americans, American culture, civil rights, nothing. I have never, ever in my life ever seen any group of Somalis that mobilize on behalf of any fucking thing that's happened in the United States of America that's beneficial to other people. What are these people doing? What are these liberal white apologists doing?
Minneapolis is the latest U.S. city to erupt after the Trump administration launched what it called the largest immigration enforcement operation ever carried out.
Why y'all beating on cars? Why y'all approaching federal agents? What are you doing? What are you doing? Why do you want to get pepper sprayed? What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Protesters were already on edge as immigration officers flooded residential neighborhoods and business areas. Then on Wednesday, the crackdown turned deadly after an ICE agent shot and killed a 37-year-old woman. The incident was filmed by those on the scene. Here, ICE officers aggressively approach a maroon SUV blocking the residential street, ordering the woman inside to get out of her vehicle before trying to open the door.
Why are you blocking ICE agents? Why are you out there doing anything? Why are you out there with your car? Why are you not, when they tell you, all right, when they tell you, I'm going to keep it 1,000 wow. When they tell you, stop the car, pull over, open up your door, get out the car, turn off your engine, where's your license and registration, whatever it is, police officers, ICE officers, federal agents. And I know y'all feeling so privileged. You feel like you can just get away with it and you can do anything you want to do. And I'm going to be consistent. And the reason I'm going to be consistent is because it's the same energy that I have. For example, when the guy that got his window punched out, I said, you know what? I don't agree that the officer had to be so aggressive to where he actually punched him in the face multiple times when he broke through the window, right? But you remove, and this is the thing that I keep telling people on a regular basis, you remove your ability to challenge the authority by being disrespectful and an agitator and not complying with the orders. When the dude shut his door, locked his door, all of that stuff, the black guy, I said, you know what? He asked for that shit. Arguing, going back and forth, don't want to open up your door, doing whatever it is that you want to do. You asked for the shit. Did they have to be as aggressive as they did? Absolutely not. My rule of thumb is, all right, cool. Do what you got to do. I'm going to handle it on the back end. I'm going to see you niggas in court. The number one thing that I always say is that I first got to get through it. I got to survive. I can't do nothing for my daughter if I'm dead. I can't challenge anything if I'm dead. I don't want nobody else to be able to tell my story. What the fuck is she doing there? Why are you with your Honda Pilot in Minneapolis in the middle of the day doing shit, blocking ICE agents and engaging in stuff that you don't want to deal, that you shouldn't be dealing with? What are you doing? They say she had a daughter. She had a wife. I'm going to get to that in a little bit. What the fuck is you doing? You ain't got nothing better to do? You don't have nothing better to do than to be out here in these streets. I'm convinced white liberals have no survival instincts whatsoever. No survival instincts whatsoever. Zero. Zero. No liberal apologists have no survival instincts. What are you talking about? We didn't run to the police. We ran away from the police. We was trying to, hey, I don't want to get caught. When the Ray van came down, oh, shit, Ray van. What's wrong with you? Y'all running into the pepper spray. Ah, my eyes, my eyes. My eyes, my eyes.
She tries to drive away, but another agent opens fire. 3 shots are heard, and the vehicle loses control and crashes. Witnesses react in shock and anger.
Dude, you shot her! I'm trying to help! No!
You know, they pulled.
Look at them. They all look the same. They all look the same fucking way. The men look like the women, and the women look like the men. They got the Where's Waldo chin. They got the Where's Waldo hat. They always look dirty. They always look like they make coffee for a living. Baristas. They all look the same. And Asian look like whites, and whites look like Asians. They all look the same, bro. They all got a look. And I can't explain it to you, but it's just a look. Even the skinny women look like they throw up in the bathroom all day. They all got a look. All living an alternative lifestyle. Yeah, they look like Harry Potter. They all look like Harry Potter. And Where's Waldo? No lips. They never have no lips. One of the lips look like this. Yeah, just the ICE agent. And that's the ICE agent. They never have no lips. They all look like they only take 1 shower a week. And they got them circle glasses. They real big. And they real circly. And they real cheap. And they get the cheapest glasses that you can get inside of the store. Got the same glasses that their mama bought them when they was 13. Every single time, bro.
Pulled the person out onto the snow. There was some difficulty getting the ambulance through due to the number of ICE vehicles. They took the person away and started pushing people off the sidewalks.
The Homeland Security Secretary, an enthusiastic enforcer of the president's immigration raids, accused the woman of an act of domestic terrorism.
What happened was our ICE officers were out in an enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle, and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle. An officer of ours acted quickly and defensively shot to protect himself and the people around him.
Minneapolis's Democratic mayor was blunt on his reaction to that assessment.
Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly. That is
I'm going to deal with him shortly.
This was an
We're gonna get their reaction.
Recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying, getting killed.
What we're seeing is the consequences of governance designed to generate fear, headlines, and conflict. It's governing by reality TV. And today that recklessness cost someone their life.
This is just the latest confrontation between the federal government and Democratic-led states. The fear is that the fury on the streets could now boil over.
Officials in Minneapolis had warned that this could happen. In fact, they said that President Trump wasn't trying to bring safety to their cities, but was trying to sow chaos and fear. President Trump, for his part, has weighed in. He said he watched the video and says it seemed that the ICE agent was acting in self-defense. So those real divides persist with this escalation in these immigration raids. But the message to residents from Minnesota officials is to protest, but to protest peacefully.
Whenever they pause real heavy like that, usually they're reading and they're getting, stuff from producers on what to say. And they're protesting and they trying to pace their words so it doesn't sound like they're reading or they don't get caught up in their words. But my take on this is two things is true. Two things are absolutely true in this situation. The first thing that is true is they never should have been out there in the first place, and you cannot impede with an investigation, and you should not be driving away, running over, or running towards an officer at all. That's the first thing that's true. Objectively speaking, the second thing is true is I don't believe, now I'm going to upset my conservative Republican friends, I don't believe that it was fully necessary and that he could not have survived her driving her car the way that she did without pulling out his weapon and putting two to the head. He could have, if he wanted to, reserved himself from ever engaging in that type of behavior as far as taking her life and taking her from this earth. If he wanted to, he could have survived, and he did not have to in order to protect himself. Have to give her the oof, oof. I don't. I don't believe it. I believe that two things is true. But here's the problem, is that when you do what she did, you remove your ability to debate it because you let them control the narrative by doing some shit that you wasn't supposed to do. Should have never drove off, should have never drove toward him, should have never did any of that. He can plausibly say, listen, I feared for my life because she was coming at me with a 6,000-pound vehicle and her wheel could have went this way or that way. And it doesn't matter whether I was hit or not. I don't have to wait until I'm hit before I start to protect myself, especially when we've asked you to comply as a federal officer with orders. And you were already out there impeding and doing shit that you wasn't supposed to do and making life difficult for us and doing stuff. And you shouldn't even have been there. You remove your ability to be able to debate what should have and shouldn't happen. Who's to say that he didn't fear for his life? Do I think that he feared for his life? I don't. I don't think that he feared for his life, not even a little bit. But when you fuck around, you find out. When you fuck around, you found out. Am I going to lose sleep over this? Absolutely not. Am I going to lose sleep over this? Nope. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Not even going to lose an ounce of sleep. I'm going to sleep like a baby. When I seen this yesterday, I was like, oh yeah, I was on a plane. Right before I took off, I said, and I went right back to sleep. Why can't I say it? Why can't I say it? People die for real reasons every single day. Listen. It's people that die in the military that y'all don't give a fuck about. I seen a guy the other day say that if you are in the military and you follow orders, I hope that a magnet hits you. I hope that a magnet of bullets hits you. And people cheered that shit on. And I'm supposed to feel sorry for somebody that put themselves in harm's way? that could have been avoided. You showed up to something to die on purpose. You put yourself in a situation that you should have never been in. No, I don't feel sorry for you. Why would I feel sorry for somebody that showed up to die? What the fuck is wrong with you? There's people that die every day and they act like it ain't even a thing. It's a nigga out there dying right now. People die over situations that they can't control every day. And you know what people say? Well, oh well. They have no sympathy for the people that get assassinated. And I'm supposed to feel sorry for a woman that put herself in this position in the first place? Why would I don't give a fuck about her. I'm observing a situation and I'm having a conversation to maybe help you realize that you should do things differently instead of putting yourself in a position that you shouldn't be in. Maybe you should use your life, your one life force, for something that's more meaningful. Is it unfortunately? Absolutely. Am I going to lose 1 minute of sleep about it? I am not. I'm not. I report on death every day, B. Somebody said I feel sorry for her kids. Yeah, good luck with that, my nigga. Anyways, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I'm sorry. I'm just not the one. Not about to guilt trip me over a lesbian woman that put herself in harm's way and had her kid in a car. What the fuck is wrong? What the fuck is wrong with you? This is called bad judgment and bad leadership. If I did some shit like that and I was out there agitating the ICE agents with my daughter in the car and my chick in the car, and I get 2 to the head because I was non-compliant, guess what? I'm a dumb motherfucker. The fuck is wrong with you? Oh, yeah, man, what's wrong with Anton? This nigga dumb. Why would he put his daughter in harm's way? Why? Because this a woman? This is a liberal white woman? We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. I'm going to just keep it 100 with you. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. What up, though, is that Oliek. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Says, I work as a TEFL teacher at NYC. All the language schools here are fronts. The students sign the attendance and leave so if they are caught by ICE, they can show their F1 visa. Oh man, that's pretty smart. So these people be finessing the system. I appreciate you, bro. My Thoughts Uncut says, my girl used the work-life balance term on me because I'm working 72 hours a week. Plus I put in work on my YouTube channel. Get that money, King. Keep hustling. Then she gives me a list of what her and the kids need. I'm like, I see my work-life balance is in your lifestyle. Talk about it. I missed you yesterday. I needed to get it from you. Oh, don't talk to me like that, Riri. Don't talk to me. Oh, snaps. Don't talk to me like that, Riri. Now you start talking to me like that do something for me. You know what I'm saying? Ladies be knowing how to get to me. They be paying attention. They know how to get to you. Shout out to you, Trey. Says, God bless you and everyone watching. I pray Slimmy has a game 6 versus the Celtics performance tonight. Caramel Wonder says, they always look like they are the product of the same DNA. Facts. Chip Burner says, liberals seem to believe their opposition is behaving above the law, which is why they defy authority and break the law. Orange Target Armory in the building. I appreciate you, Orange. Thank you, my friend, for supporting the platform. The Game Shocker says the cop that shot her was dragged before, said Fox News. We're going to get there. All right, we got to get over to Trump. I mean, not Trump. Tim Walz, the disgraced governor that is no longer running for re-election because he stood with Somalis and he got taken down by a YouTuber. And then we're going to also get over to the grifter, Jacob Frey, the mayor of Minneapolis, that stands with Somalis. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm. My mom is texting me. Look at her. I'll call you as soon as I leave my optometrist office. Yo, My mom has more doctor's appointments to do preventative maintenance than anybody that I've ever seen in my entire life. I have never in my life seen a person go and do more preventative maintenance. It seemed like she keep a doctor's appointment and she keep a gym appointment, a doctor's appointment, and a flight booked. A gym appointment, a doctor's appointment, and a flight booked. Crazy. Good gosh. All right. So let's get over into the next thing. We're gonna get our reaction from Tim Walsh, Jacob Frey, and the like.
They want a show. We can't give it to them. We cannot. If you protest and express your First Amendment rights, please do so peacefully, as you always do. We can't give them what they want. The hearts and minds of the people in this state are on our side. To Americans, I ask you this: please stand with Minneapolis. To Minnesotans, know that our administration is going to stop at nothing to seek accountability and justice. The State Bureau of Criminal Apprehension are working on the investigation. We have activated the State Emergency Operations Center. State Patrol and Minnesota National Guard leadership is connected with the Minneapolis Police Department, the St. Paul Police Department, Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, the DNR, and Minnesota's Homeland Security and Emergency Management. We have activated dozens of members of the State Patrol's mobile response team. And from here on, I have a very simple message. We do not need any further help from the federal government. To Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, you've done enough. There's nothing more important than Minnesotan safety. I've issued a warning order to prepare the Minnesota National Guard. We have soldiers in training and prepared to be deployed if necessary. I remind you, a warning order is a heads up for folks. And these National Guard troops are our National Guard troops. They're teachers in your community, they're business owners, they're construction professionals. They are Minnesotans. Minnesota will not allow our community to be used as a prop in a national political fight.
Tim Walsh is running a close third and worst governors of the United States of America right now. Maybe even second. Nobody tops Gavin Newsom. Nobody tops Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is the worst. And it seems like if you are a Democrat, the worse you are, the more you're rewarded, the more they love you. I've seen a video where they were asking Gavin Newsom about possibly running for president of the United States of America. And it was people that were in the chat, mostly white liberal apologists, that were saying, oh, best governor in the United States of America. I'm like, where? Where? When? I might even be able to pull that up right away. Let me see something, because I think I saved it. I said, where? How did he become the best governor of America? When did that happen? How did that become a thing? Like, people were actually cheering it on. Like, yeah, you know what? Gavin Newsom, I could see it. They don't want him to become president because he's too deep. He's too deep. I don't think that these people's votes should count as much as ours, man. I don't. I don't think that these people's votes should count as much as our votes count. I think that we need to give these people like a third of a vote or like a fourth of a vote. Your vote, I don't know how you do it. Like, I don't know how you segment it out. Let me see something. Gavin, some president. Is this it? Look. Oh, yeah, I found it. I found it. They said, make America Gavin again. I said, make America who? Make America Gavin again. They're actually saying that. Listen, I would never lie to you. I would never lie to you. It's a video where they're asking him if he want to be president of the United States of America on MS Now. I hope he runs. He has my vote. And they have 14,000 likes on this pitch. Make America Gavin already. What? Newsom, while not perfect, would absolutely win. Newsom is 100,000 times better than Vance. I said, I'd vote for him in a heartbeat. Did I miss something? I'm out here. I'm looking at the graffiti right now. I'm looking at the graffiti on the building right now. I'm right here looking at Crypto Arena, looking at the graffiti on the high-rise towers, and they are literally saying the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life, bro.
We will not take the bait. We will continue to update you, Minnesota, as we get more information.
We collectively are going to do everything possible to get to the bottom of this, to get justice, and to make sure that there is an investigation that is conducted in full. But what we do know is that a 37-year-old woman is dead and that she was shot by ICE. We've dreaded this moment since the early stages of this ICE presence in Minneapolis. Not only is this a concern that we've had internally, we've been talking about it. They are not here to cause safety in this city. What they are doing is not to provide safety in America.
Yo, what up?
Hey, what's going on now?
I'm on the live stream. You keep you a doctor's appointment.
I know. I gotta keep it. Hey, I'm an investment. Gotta take care of this.
When Craig came and kicked it with me and asked me if he should marry you, what did I tell him?
Don't do it. Told him not to marry me because I was crazy. Y'all don't listen to Anton. And that is the best movie ever made in his life. Don't listen to Anton, y'all. Don't do it. He kept telling, and he still say it to this day. Every time we see him, you should have married my mom because she's crazy.
I just told him that for Christmas. We just talked on Christmas.
That's what
I said, man, what was you thinking, bro?
And what did he say? Hey.
Well, what was he supposed to say? You was standing right there looking at him.
He didn't have to marry me. He asked me. I didn't ask him.
Oh my God. Crazy as ever. Bye.
I'm the one that should have thought twice. Don't listen to Anton, y'all.
Bye. I don't be lying, man. I'm telling you. Well, I'll be talking to him. I'll be like, bro, what was you thinking? Why would you do this? What made you sign up for this task of managing this lady? What made you sign up for this task? I'm sorry. We got to get back to Jacob Frey. Jacob Frey, ladies and gentlemen.
What they are doing is causing chaos and distrust. They're ripping families apart. They're sowing chaos on our streets. And in this case, quite literally killing people. So they are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bullshit.
Whenever you see cornballs like this start to curse the way that they curse and say the things that they saying, this is what I call expert grifting. This is tier 1 grifting. Kamala Harris does it sometimes, and it's intentional, and they've already planned on doing it. They're not just saying it because, oh, it's just a spirit of moment, emotion. This is all planned nonsense bullshit. I'm pissed off, so I'm going to say I'm pissed, and this is bullshit. It's all games, all playing in your faces. This is the same guy that was sitting here pretending and acting like he was so distraught when George Floyd, Black Lives Matters, he's had the Black Lives Matters mask on. He might as well have been in there with the kente cloth with Nancy Pelosi. Then he switched up and he had his super emotional moment when they had the shooting in Minnesota. I covered that. I'm starting to see this guy a lot. He's starting to really piss me off. And then he was over there dancing with the Somalis. He trying to learn Somali so that he can bend to their will. And now he's over here pissed. Get the fuck up. I'm fucking Pat. Shut your corny ass up. This is all intentional. And this guy is really, really trying for an Oscar. It's all an act. One thing that I could smell is I could smell a finesse. I could smell a bullshitter. I could smell bullshit a mile away, especially from a politician. You know how when people curse and it's not natural, like it's like, oh, you ain't never cursed before. It's one of them type of situations. It's certain things that people do that don't make sense. It's like, oh, you're not used to cursing. This ain't normal for you. Like, it's some people that's just like, you know, they can just roll it off. This is part of the life. They don't even realize that they're cursing sometimes. And then there's other people that do it casually and it comes out. It's like, oh, you piss for real. And then it's the other people that never do it. Mama was probably slapping them, putting soap in their mouth. They never did it before, and they season an opportunity to do it. This is what it sounds like when he does it. Honest to God, this is what it sounds like. It's like, yeah, that was planned. Because there's a difference between being pissed off and saying something or talking in the moment versus, you know, oh, I'm going to make this a part of my speech. This is very much planned.
This was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying, getting killed. As soon as it happened and we learned of the incident, we had several priorities. The first, of course, was to get the victim to the hospital and to get care as soon as possible. To the family, I'm so deeply sorry. There's nothing that I can say right now that's going to make you or your relatives.
So white liberal women are the biggest issue to America, and white liberal men are even worse because they're the ones that enable it. Usually they have a level of sassiness to them, maybe a part of the LGBTQ movement, and they'll do anything to be accepted, by whatever it is that's going on.
Or the friends of the victim feel any better. There were, I believe, 2 Minneapolis police officers that responded and were in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. The second was to get ICE off of the scene. There were dozens, if not hundreds, of ICE and federal officers that were there at the time. Having them there was only causing more chaos. Having them there was only making a difficult situation even more problematic, and one that, yes, they created themselves. There's little I can say, again, that'll make this situation better, but I do have a message for our community, for our city.
I can already tell that it's about to come again. The curse word, the curse bomb, the fuck, the shit, motherfucker. Something like that is about to take place right now.
And I have a message for ICE.
The message for ICE is going to be, look.
Get the fuck out of Minneapolis.
I can't, bro.
We do not want you here. Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite. People are being hurt. Families are being ripped apart. Long-term Minneapolis residents that have contributed so greatly to our city, to our culture, to our economy are being terrorized, and now somebody is dead. That's on you. And it's also on you to leave. It's on you to make sure that further damage, further loss of life and injury is not done. We're going to be working towards justice as quickly as we possibly can right now, and justice is what we've all got to get. Next, a message to our community. Look, we all know that the agenda of this Trump administration is to create chaos. Let us respond right now with our best versions of self. This is a moment where all of us in Minneapolis and beyond, we can rise to the occasion. We can show them who we are. We can show them the kind of courage, bravery, love, and compassion that makes Minneapolis, Minneapolis, and that makes America, America. We are better than a bunch of ICE agents being deployed to cities around the country and ripping apart families and communities. We're better than that. And so we are going to meet that hate with love. We are going to meet that despair with hope. We are going to meet that injustice with constitutional justice ourselves. And we're going to make sure that in this very difficult moment, we do not take the bait that these ICE agents are trying to create and that the federal government, to be clear, wants. They want us to respond in a way that creates a military occupation in our city. They want an excuse to come in and show the kind of force that will create more chaos and more despair. Let's not let them. Let's rise to this occasion. Let's show them something far more beautiful than the kind of division that they're trying to stoke. Let's show them unity, of purpose, of love, and the courage of our conviction.
I be thinking these people trying to run for office,
Our conviction, to be clear, is rock solid, and it is for our neighbors, all of our neighbors.
I genuinely be thinking these people.
It's for people who have lived here for 80 years. It is for new immigrants who have made this city a better place. That's the kind of love that we're going to show up with right now.
I said the same thing. Are they trying to run for office? Who are you impressing? I know zero people that's engaged with this. It's like, yo, you know what? I'm feeling inspired by Sassy Frey. I'm feeling inspired by Sassy Frey. Zero people are feeling inspired by Sassy Frey. Zero. Fuck out of here. So y'all got the gist of it. You got it. He's emotional. He's feeling some type of way. Same old, same old. I'm going to get over to, I want to get, part of what I want to institute into this show, let me get to reading the super chats. Part of what I want to start instituting into this show is I want to get video reactions of people speaking on some of these subjects that happen on a national level. I want to start integrating that into this because I don't want to just give you my lens. I want to look at it from the liberal perspective. I want to look at it from the Democrat perspective. I want to look at it from the Republican perspective. And so I'm going to share some of those reactions with you guys in the next segment prior to us actually going into Venezuela, what is going to happen with the oil, and then we're going to get into housing after that because Trump has housing reform with institutional investors. But before I do that, let me go ahead and read some of these super chats, and then we're going to get on to the next part of the show. Manny Plays PC says, hold up. Is Timmy admitting that they weren't peacefully protesting right now? They never are. That's what happens when you throw snowballs and you use your vehicle to block ICE agents. It's not peacefully protesting. Imagine if no video existed. Shout out to my girl, Love Curly Hair. I love you, baby girl. Rich Steve says the shooting is 100% a diversion tactic from the fraud that's going on in Minnesota. I agree. I think that this is an exciting moment for Tim Walz and Jacob Frey because they were under intense pressure and scrutiny about all of the fraud that was happening from Somalis. 100%. This is the best time ever for them to divert away from that. Yo, as Romy Rome says, so Christian of you to not have no sympathy. What? What do you mean? Listen. You must be new here. Listen, if you want to have sympathy, then be my guest. But you are not going to then give me, you're not going to control my righteousness at all. I didn't see anything in the Bible that said that I had to have sympathy for a lesbian that was trying to kill an ICE agent, according to what they said. When did I have to start doing that? Where does the sympathy stop? Should I have sympathy for a pedo that gets killed in prison too? Should I have sympathy for the murderer that is a serial killer of children and women? Where should the sympathy start and where should it stop, Mr. Righteousness Man? I don't have to feel nothing for nobody. The only thing that I have to do is to make sure that I take care of business and I meet the expectation for what God has told me to do. I don't give a fuck about what you think about your sympathy. That's why you gay. You look gay. You have a cut-off sleeved daily shirt. You have a silk jersey that's cut off sleeved. Get out of your emotions, nigga, and start getting in your masculinity. Nigga gonna sit here and send me a super chat talking about how Christian like of you. Nigga, suck my dick. Nigga don't tell me what to feel. When we start doing that as men, hey man, you should feel more Christian like and have more sympathy. Nigga, suck a dick. Suck a dick. That's what you can do. Give a fuck about what these niggas is talking about. I seen a nigga that's he was in my comments the other day and he said, can't wait to meet you in person. Nigga, what? Oh, he said it on the Room 9 channel because he was upset at the fact that I be supporting Molly. He said, I would love to meet this nigga in person. What kind of bitch ass niggas are y'all? When did y'all start becoming captains? Y'all Captain Saberho now? You seen that Tuesday? I looked at that comment. I left it up. I looked at that comment. I said, where is these feminine niggas at? What the fuck is going on with y'all? Man, y'all gotta, honestly, man, y'all gotta start being a little bit tougher, thick-skinned. Thick skin, honestly, man. Y'all be crashing out over women that you ain't never met in your life. Over people. Man, I don't care nothing about this woman. I ain't never met her before. Like, I'm in the streets every day in real life, passing out money, helping homeless people, dealing with drug addicts, taking care of people, paying for funerals. And you don't sit here with your little fake righteousness. Nigga, take your little skinny chain off and get some masculinity. Then you got that little skinny chain on and you put a little cross at the end of it and all of a sudden you niggas is righteous. New saints. Niggas that just got in church. And I guarantee you it'd be the sassiest niggas. Probably done did all kind of shit in their life. Just turned their life over to God and all of a sudden now these niggas are super righteous. Nigga, if you don't get your silk jersey on out of here, nobody give a fuck about what you talking about. Thank you for the super chat, though. Thank you for the super chat, my nigga. Scorpio Dre says, bro, raising an armed militia, that sounds like treason. I don't discriminate just because you niggas are super chatting. Eric TV says, could have fooled me. Tampon Tim? Now these niggas gonna be emotional in their feelings. I'm mad at Anton. I'm so angry. I'm so upset. Jason Person says, I live in Minneapolis and people don't get it. I was taught you live today so you can fight tomorrow when it comes to the police. What up to my Irish people? Oh, Irish American says, I'm no expert, but isn't Tim Walz citing an insurrection against the federal government? I used to live in Minneapolis or Minnesota, but I live in a red state now. I don't know. We're going to see how it plays out. Spacer says, weren't the Dems and Kamala Harris complaining about the idea of Trump dispatching American troops on American citizens during the election? Irony. Yes, she did. The Irish says that all Democrats do is deny, deflect. These morons are still ignorant of the federal law. The look on his face says it all, and they know they are effing done. Mr. Lott says he listened to Hella, Eminem, and Yellow Wolf before that speech. Malcolm X warned us, says Eric says, Malcolm X warned us. D says it's going to be funny to see when Trump is out of office and Democrats actually have to defend their stupid policies. Keeping up 8150 says black people need to wake up. The Native American designated areas were taken by the Somalis. Yes, you're an American too, so fight for what's yours. Doomsday says, AD, how you feel about XRP? I don't know. I invest in Bitcoin, so. Freethinker says, if he wants sympathy, he should look in a dictionary between shit and syphilis. Ooh, I like that one. Eli Saul says, Trump derangement syndrome did her in. That's a fact. Mark Hargrove says, too funny, bro. All facts. TS Car Wash Details says, check out the Shannon and Mike interview. Is dope. Yeah, I seen that drop. I like Mike Epps. I like Shannon Sharp. I think that they both dope. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. We got to go over to the next thing. Let's get the people's reaction really quickly. I don't want to spend any more than 10 minutes on this part of the show, but I like to integrate some new things into the show. So make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. We're going to get it from a liberal perspective, and then we're going to get the other perspective.
ICE murdered today was a lesbian. Renee Good was a lesbian. And the reason that this matters is because, number one, her wife was in the car with her when it happened. Number two, shortly after, her wife gave a distraught interview to a reporter in which she mentioned, we have a 6-year-old who's in school right now. Like, I have to go pick our 6-year-old up from school. After this, the child's grandfather gave an interview to the news. This would either have been Renee's father or the father of that child's biological father. It's unclear from the context clue.
This is why all of this stuff is confusing. As a C student, I don't even know what she just said anymore. Father, biological father, grandfather, or the father of the child that just had him, but she's a lesbian, and the 6-year-old was in school while the wife was in a car with her being stupid. See how this is all confusing? See how they try to make us overthink about stuff that should be normal? What do you mean? It should be father. Let me tell you what would have happened. Y'all ready to get into it? If she had a strong masculine man in her life, she would still be alive, and she wouldn't even have been out there. Y'all want to have that real conversation. This is a little bit too much. If she had a strong masculine man in her life, she would have never been out there in the first place. Because protection is also proactive. So when I tell you, sit your big head down because you're doing too much and take a fucking nap, and you sit there and whine, but you get in that bed and you take that goddamn nap, I just saved your life. You don't even know it. That's precog. I don't know if y'all ever seen that movie with Tom Cruise where he was able to proactively arrest people or stop murders and arrest people right before they did it. I did a precog to you. I saved your life. I just saved your life. I saved you from a heartache. You have no clue. If it wasn't for me, you would be in the streets. You would be a whore. And I'm speaking how the sentiment of men are, right? I'm not speaking about my situation, obviously. But in general, for a lot of the great men, their leadership goes unheralded because you don't even know what they protected you from. When I pray to God, because God is my leader, I am your leader, and your husband or your man is your leader. And so when you pick a bad leader, your leadership is reflected on your life. So if you're a bum bitch, not all women are bitches, but we gonna have a conversation. If you a bum bitch, that mean that you got bum ass leadership and you don't listen to the nigga that you with and you're rebellious, or if you do listen to him and he leads you wrong, then that means that you are a reflection of his leadership. So if he can't get no control over you, I say, shut the fuck up and stop embarrassing us, then that's a reflection of you. And so you are an extension of him. And when I go to God, you know, the first thing that I say, you know what, God, you know why I appreciate you so much? Not for the things that I have, not for the opportunities that you've afforded me, not for the lifestyle that I live. And this is an honest prayer. And I need y'all to institute this and you'll be more blessed as a result of it. I say, God, thank you for the things that I don't even know that you protected me from. Because that is what leadership is. God may have prevented you from going left or right or dealing with that chick or dealing with this person or dealing with this. And that's why I'm very much prayed up on a regular basis, because I know not of what he's protecting me from, because he's my leader. That's why I go to him. Sometimes, in most instances, 9 times out of 10, the person that you are with, if you are submissive the way that you're supposed to, saved your life, saved you from heartache, saved you from having diseases, saved you from being pregnant as somebody else's baby mama, saved you from a headache, saved you from a sassy ass kid, saved you from a lot of things. And so when you are rebellious, this is the ultimate price that you pay. This is why you need a balance of masculinity and femininity, because now I'm gonna give women some grace. You soften us sometimes from us being complete savages, because I'm gonna tell you, if it wasn't women in some of our lives, some of you niggas would be dead right now. I promise to God, on everything I know and everything I love, if it wasn't for some of the women in our lives asking for grace on your behalf and saying, hey, hold on, baby, hold on, listen. And they rub our head and they lay us down, and then we get to think a little bit more clearly until we get ourselves together. Some of you niggas would be dead on sight. And that's what the balance of femininity and masculinity is. The balance is she allows for us to give you grace. The other balance is he saves you from yourself and he keeps your kid from being sassy. And that's why you need both a man and a woman in the household, because it gives you the insight of how it is that you're supposed to have balance as an individual for your son and from your daughter. Protection for the man, protection for the woman. We protect each other. We protect each other because you don't know what's out there. And she trying to make sure that nigga is still alive tomorrow. And so we all in this together. And there's other ways. I'm using small examples to illustrate a point. But we're all in this together. That's why we need each other. That's why I hold people accountable. That's why I say, girl, sit your dumb ass down and stop being a dumb ass. And I tell the men, I say, hey, stop being so sassy and always putting your cape on for these hoes. Because you truly living in your masculinity will then attract the person that you can lead, and she'll believe in you. She'll believe in you. If you show me a woman that is out of control, I'll show you a nigga that's leading her wrong. If you show me a man that is outside of his purpose and not doing what he's supposed to do, but he's still in a relationship, I'll show you a woman that enables him. You pick this nigga. That's why we hold y'all accountable for your baby daddy. And we say, go back to that nigga because he a reflection of you. You still out of control and you just like them. Show me a woman that's out of control and I'll show you her baby daddy. We balance each other. We balance each other. It's supposed to be a balancing act. And that's why you can't have two lesbians in a car with each other, because both of them is emotional, and that's how one of them is no longer with us. The news ain't gonna tell you that part because the news can't tell you that part. The news got to produce the segment and tell you it and spin the narrative so that they can get advertising dollars. I could tell you the truth. It's two women in the car together. Sometimes it'd be a man in the car with you and it's still two women in the car together because both of y'all are emotional and both of y'all, you ain't got no masculinity in that car. It's a bitch ass dude that's in there enabling bad behavior, and it's a woman out of control talking about what she needs from a man is emotional intelligence. I'm not supposed to dig this deep? Am I not supposed to dig this deep? Say the rest of what she got to say.
That child's grandfather gave an interview to the news in which he said, I'm going to have to fly to Minneapolis to pick up my grandchild who has nobody left. There's nobody left for them. That child's other mother is still there. She's still there. That child was in a stable, loving, married two-parent home, and the second parent is still there.
You hear this foolishness? Creating generational curses.
The child's grandfather is now clearly intent on trying to rip the child away from their remaining mother after they lost their other mother today. This is why it matters.
Somebody said if a logically thinking man was in that car, I'm sure she would still be there. If a logically thinking man was married to her, she would have never been in a car in the daytime at an ICE protest in the first place. Why would I think about this for a second as a man? Why would I have my girl out there? I seen that interview between them two liberals that we just reviewed. Why would I have my girl out there in the fucking cold in Minnesota, Minneapolis? What man is standing outside in the interview after a protest with his girl in the freezing cold? Minneapolis is one of the coldest places in the United States of America as far as big major cities. Why would I have my girl out there at an ICE protest? What man would ever allow for his girl to do some dumb junk like that? In the middle of the day? That's the whole idea, is that you would have never been there. You know what other chicks is doing? They sitting around drinking coffee, listening to the Million in the Morning Show like, complaining that the temperature is too cold in the house, even though it's 75 degrees on the thermostat. Women that's kept, they whine about dumb shit. Making breakfast. Complaining about what they didn't have in the Instacart because he didn't deliver everything the way that she wanted him to. They not sitting here in the fucking cold with no makeup on, looking like a little nigga. Fuck is you talking about? You blocking? I wish my girl would come back to me and talk about she was over there blocking ICE agents. What, you the who? How you even know about ICE agents? You know what women that are kept, they don't even watch regular news. They watch YouTube, TikTok, they check on their Instagram and Facebook, depending on how old they are, and they watch Love at First Sight. If your girl don't even know what the fuck is happening on Love at First Sight, I'm going to start to question whether or not she really kept or not. If she not telling you about some dumb shit that happened on a pre-programmed sitcom that's not even real, and she's so concerned about it, then I'm gonna be looking like, They love dumb shit. So we keep them occupied and busy. Listen. They can tell you what Anton said, and they can tell you whoever it is that's loving first sight. Did you see him? That's crazy. He said he didn't like her. And then they'll ask you some dumbass question like this. Honey, what would you do if you showed up in a pod and, because I'm probably getting them shows mixed up, right? You showed up in a pod and then the girl said, ta-da, and you didn't like her. Would you still go through with the marriage? Could you see yourself on that show? Love is Blind? Is that what the one is? So it's Love is Blind and it's Love is First Sight. Okay, I got it. I got it now. I'm figuring it out. I'm getting the shows. Love Island too? Love is Blind, Love Island, Love at First Sight, all of that shit, huh? And Love and Hip Hop. Okay, all right. So we there. We there. We gonna get it. Love After Lockup too? Put love in the title and they gonna watch it. Note to self: any new show that I create on Room 9 is gonna have love in the title, and I know it's gonna be a hit. And Temptation Island. So what happens on Temptation? Oh man,
That Renee Good was a lesbian. Because if she hadn't been, this situation would not be happening.
y'all
This is the
crazy.
exact situation that I, by the way,
All these women is crazy, bro, and I love y'all crazy asses. I love yo crazy. Y'all crazy as fuck, and I can't live without you. Holding you accountable and laying right next to you in the same sentence. Holding you accountable and laying next to you in the same sentence. Girl, what the fuck is you doing? Turn that TV off and take your clothes off and come and get into bed. It's time to take a nap. You watching this again? Here, come on, come here. Come sit next to me.
I have been talking about for the past 2 years, telling people if Donald Trump is elected, I am going to lose my rights. They say, what rights? What rights are you talking about? What rights have you lost? What rights are in danger of yours? The right not to have your child taken when your spouse is murdered by the government. Do not let this part of the story get swept under the rug. Okay? That's what they want. Don't let it get swept under the rug. This is an additional atrocity happening after, again, the murder of a United States citizen by the United States government. And now they're going to try to take her child. Do not let this part of the story die. Talk about it. Be loud about it. It matters. It matters that Renee Good was a lesbian. It matters that her child's grandfather is now trying to take that child away from their home. It matters not only to that family, but it matters, I guarantee you, to people that you know and love, even if you don't know that it matters to them. We look around and we say, this could be us. This could happen to me.
Y'all see yourself in this woman? Do women really see themselves in this woman? Y'all are exhausting. Y'all are exhausting.
So don't let this part get swept under the rug.
It's always something going on over here in America. It really is. Every day is something going on. You know, rest in peace to that woman. But honestly, I blame the Democrats. The Democrats are always spewing hatred towards federal ICE fucking agents and towards our president. It's very simple. It is very simple, people. Stay out of ICE agents' way. Let them do their job, and nobody will be hurt, killed, or whatever the like.
She's 100% right. She's 100% right. Stay out the way. This ain't even got nothing to do. I didn't even know that women was supposed to be out here doing this type of shit in the first place. I didn't. I didn't even know that women was supposed to be out here doing the fight to power. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that real women did that type of shit. Real talk. I didn't even know that women was supposed to be out here doing the stuff that and getting in the elements in the cold when it get cold outside. It's so weird to me. It is so weird what a society is happening today. But anyways, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Had to get it from both sides, had to get it from both segments, and then I was going to break it down. And the real life situation on what really happens and why she should have never been there in the first place. All right, let me read some of these super chats. Rob Brown says, please don't cuss me out and then thank me for the super chat. Salute, bro. Well, if you've been here for any amount of time, then we've disagreed with each other. And I probably cussed you out or probably used you as an example or probably pulled up your chat and said, you dumb as fuck or whatever. And the chat cussed me out. The chat cussed me out too. And they be like, Anton, you stupid or whatever. And then I go off and I get derailed. And it makes for a great show. It makes for great entertainment. Now, I don't want anybody out there getting any bright ideas and stealing my style that I use to live stream because I interact with the chat and the chat is my friends and I love the chat and the chat is so dope. Don't start trying to do what I do and integrating the chat into your show and arguing back and forth with people and crashing out and all of that stuff. You can't do what I do. They can't do what we do, right? They can't do what we do. Cause I can crash out, and then right after that, we be back friends together. Oh man, I love you because nigga, this is entertainment. It's fun. They can't detach it, and they take it home with them, and they be feeling some type of way. Man, that motherfucker. No, nigga, you just gay right now, and then you're not gonna be gay on the next segment. I don't trip. Even on after hours, I'd be like, man, I love the chat. The chat is awesome because the chat is literally like the extra member of the show. Like they are a part of the show, and I be loving it. I be loving the chat. I genuinely love the chat. They say some of the wildest shit, and sometimes I look at the chat and I be cracking up, and I don't even say nothing. So I love the chat. I love the chat. I don't know what I would do without the chat. It would mess up the whole show. And Too Short, shout out to my dog, Miss Lot says, in my Too Short voice, and our Too Short voice, she wanted to be a gangster. That's a fact. Wavy Haitian. That's a dope ass name. I kind of like that name. Wavy Haitian in the building says we showing the same sympathy they gave Charlie. Nah, they did Charlie bad. They actually praised the person. Nah, they did Charlie bad. It's worse. They did way worse. Keep It Up 8150 says, yep, when you find a wife, you find a favor with God. More Than Mellow says, morning, Anton and the Chasers. When did you know it was time to start looking at other opportunities after increasing your skill set? No, I never stopped looking for opportunities. I'm looking for opportunities right now. Seriously. One of the things I tasked my people with, I said, hey, I need an agent, right? Because I need an agent in order to mine out the best deals and the best opportunities. I need an agent. I'm never stopping. I'm always growing, always new opportunities. If you're in corporate America, you shouldn't be there any more than 2.5, 3 years before you start to look at new opportunities. Even if they promote you in a company, they'll pay you way more to leave. Way more to leave. I'm never stopping. If I'm breathing, if I'm alive, I'm looking for opportunities. Gibbon Ain't Easy in the building says, why you call me out like that? And closes Amazon. What's up to my... Oh, my God. I want this girl right now so bad. Oh, man. If y'all got a man that care about y'all can't be saying some of the stuff y'all say to me because I'm gonna be on y'all and y'all be knowing what y'all be doing to me. If y'all got a man that love you, he might have to pull back. I ain't lying. I'm so honest. If you have a man that love you, shit, I don't know what it is. And then they be pretty with pretty teeth, and they be having a lip stuff and all of that stuff. And then they say, greetings, Lord Anton. I said, what the fuck? What's wrong with me, God? I love this shit. I love this. I be needing it. I need it. I be needing her. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm only human. I can only take so much before I fall. Oh man. I'll be trying to catch a fucking flight. You know what I'm saying? You weren't ready to go to the Pistons game. Yeah, we're gonna go out to eat. We're gonna go to the game. We're gonna have a good time. Just hang out. Just gonna hang out. You know what I'm saying? I like this girl. Let me just look at her real quick. Look how pretty she is. Mm, 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 mm. I don't know what it is. My mom will tell you since I was 11 years old. Oh, it's just like, yo. I used to tell my mom, I think I like her. And then the next day, I would be another girl, be like, I think I like her too. Bro, when I got in trouble for school, it was always a girl involved. Every fucking time in my entire life. Every single time I've ever gotten in trouble in school, whether it was skipping school, getting caught up, getting sent to the office, it was always a fucking girl somewhere. And I was like, it's just my life. That's my plight. That's my plight. I was never in trouble for no stealing, no dumb shit, no, you know, drugs or nothing. It was always women. Always. Every single turn in my life. From 11 to 43. I said, I can't take it, God. You know, listen, y'all want a transparent moment? If you don't want a transparent moment, say you don't want a transparent moment. If you want a transparent moment, say you want a transparent moment. I'll tell you the truth. I never lied to you. Listen, I may withhold information, but I never lied to you. I may withhold information, but I never lied to you. I will never lie to you. Some people saying tell them, some people saying don't. Let me get a sentiment in the chat. Oh, all right. I'll withhold that. I'll withhold that part. I can't. I'm so weak, bro. I'm so weak sometimes. I be in the moment, man, and then like I think honestly, that is my biggest weakness. Cause like just the smell of a woman is just like I could just be chilling and it's like you gotta get away from me. You know what I'm saying? It's like you gotta go. I'm so weak. And I say it out loud. I say it right there. I said I can't be around you because I'm so weak. I'm so fucking weak for this shit. I can't deal with it. Lord, don't take this cup from my mouth. Oh man, oh man, oh man. And everybody that know me, everybody that's around me, they just get it. They understand. Hey, listen, that's just what Anton is. He will be just be doing what he doing. It just is what it is. If your girl ain't telling you the cloud looks like a bunny, you ain't doing your shit. I hear you, man. He plays PC. TS Car Wash and Detail Services 80 make a cookbook because you cooking. I try. Call me Mr. Love says Temptation Island is basically what's going to happen at your company retreat. If it's you, I've never watched any of these shows before. If it's you and all of the ladies only, I hope to see my baby tonight. Who is your baby? MS. Is MS Molly? Interesting. TS Car Wash and Detail Services, FTP hilarious. Women fight the power. Moving 2026. Women Fight the Power 2026. Yeah. QD executive MLE says they want to be the new civil rights heroes. The blue hairs want to be in the history books. like MLK ain't happening because the agenda is bad. Horrible policy. Amethyst Angel says spend 50% of your time minding your own business and the other 50% not mind. I'll talk about it. Not minding nobody else's. Faith. Now the kid is going to ask, where the other mommy? Facts. Facts. DJ Ace Production says the derailment is where it's at. The other stuff is just fillers. Right. The stories is just the fillers. The derailment is what we working on. Power in the box. Greeting, Ants. Greeting Anton, says TS Car Wash and Detail Service. Anthony, what up to Anthony? I appreciate you for the super sticker. TS Car Wash and Detail Services. Focus. What your grandma would say is focus. My grandma would say, Anton, do whatever you're going to do. Don't make me call my grandma. My grandma adores me. Adores me. I am the favorite of all times. Bro, you got boxitis bad, says Georgia Boy. Lee Duran says 80s boxolitis is flaring up. That's always. That's because of her. Miss Sanchez. Oh. Miss Sanchez is y'all favorite. I think that y'all pick and choose the girls based off of how new they are. Whenever it's a new girl coming in, they automatically become the favorite. Every single time. It's always based off of whoever is new. My baby Miss Sanchez always. Your baby is Miss Sanchez. I don't like that shit. Hold on, let me see what's going on here. Your baby is Miss Sanchez? She might be busy, though.
Hello.
Hey, I'm on a live stream.
I don't know what I do.
Why so many people like you? Why so many people like you? Why these people keep telling me that you they favorite? What the fuck you doing?
I am sweet. I am the sweetest of the sweets. That's why. They've been checking on me all since what was the show? Tuesday? Yeah.
I don't like that shit.
They supposed to love you and all your ladies.
I don't like that shit.
Yeah. Y'all stop it.
Yeah, you starting to get a little bit too much motion.
That is funny. You think so?
I think so.
I think all the girls got it though. After last week, I don't know. Well, not last week, but last stream. Y'all keep sending them super chats. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna talk to you later.
Bye.
I don't like that shit. What the fuck is going on here? What is going on here? Y'all just showing Miss Sanchez all of this love? Shout out to Dion Strong on Cash App. I appreciate you, Dion. Holding us down. Dion Strong. Georgia Boy 46. Nah, Lex is the one. Lex is pretty. These girls is gorgeous. They are. What up? What up? Sojourner True says, hello, Anton. What's up, Journer? What's up, baby girl? How are you feeling? All right, y'all, listen. We got to start talking about this Venezuelan oil. We got to talk about the oil. We got to get over the housing. We got to get over to the oil and the housing. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel. Y'all damn near want to get rid of Q for Miss Sanchez. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. All right, y'all. Let's go over to oil. So, it's been a big conversation ever since Trump removed Maduro about what to do with Venezuelan resources. So I want to look at this from a couple different angles. All right. The first angle that I want to look at it from is the angle of what is supposed to happen. And I want to get the direct conversation, because Trump outlined, along with his foreign ministry or whatever like that is, he outlined exactly what he's trying to do. Now, again, I also want to preface this by saying that we've never, ever and again, I'm going to keep saying it because I'm always so surprised at how transparent he is. He tells you exactly what he's going to do. Hey, listen, man, we trying to get this oil. Let's get into it.
Of this U.S. strategy in Venezuela is oil. The country holds the world's largest reserves, and President Trump just announced that the country will be turning over millions and millions of barrels to the United States at market price. That coming after NBC News learned that the U.S. Energy Secretary is in close contact with oil executives, including Chevron, about rebuilding Venezuela's infrastructure.
You cannot continue to have the largest oil reserves in the world under the control of adversaries of the Western Hemisphere, while the people of Venezuela have no electricity, substandard quality of life, and its profits don't benefit the people of Venezuela. The profits are stolen by a handful of oligarchs around the world.
As long as Maduro was working with Iran and China and Russia, and they were destroying, and see, this is the thing that I don't understand with liberals. You were okay. And y'all stood with all of these other countries. Y'all love China. Y'all love China. Y'all would love to give Xi Jinping a Gawk 3000. These crazy Democrats, they can't wait to exalt China and to show so much love. They steal, kill, they push propaganda. You cannot, listen, you can't even send a fucking email out of China without it first going through a filter system to make sure that you're not saying anything negative about their government. They censor everything on the social media platforms and everything. Y'all love China so much. And as long as they were exploiting the Venezuelan people, you had no problem. Oh my God, we shouldn't be involved in anything that has to go. You know, we in a global market. Anything that they do over there is affecting what we got going on over here. Y'all love it. You love it. As long as they was extracting and using American equipment and infrastructure that we set up. We were the ones that first established our relationship with Venezuela and gave them all of the profits and helped them to be able to prosper. We prospered too, right? That's what you do in a business deal. I make money, you make money, we make money together. And so as long as we established it, it was cool. But then they hijacked the country, and under his rule, they basically plunged them into poverty, made what was supposed to be one of the richest countries in the Western Hemisphere poor as fuck, and they were extracting every fucking resource that you can think of from under their feet at a fraction of the price, and y'all was cool with it. Y'all was cool with it. No, it's not raining in California. It never rains in Southern California. Y'all was cool with it. Now, the Trump administration said, all right, so listen, we're not going to keep doing what Biden was doing. We're going to go ahead and shut this shit down. The men is back in office. The grown folks is back in office. We're going to run it up. And the Venezuelan people going to profit too.
Now let's go now to NBC News Chief White House Correspondent Peter Alexander. Peter, the president just posted about oil in Venezuela. What are we learning here?
Well, emphasizing the president prioritizing Venezuelan oil. Late tonight, he posted that the interim...
Y'all said y'all seen Willie did doing. I'm going to call Willie. I got Willie's number. I talked to Willie on the phone the other day. I'm going to call Willie and see what's going on. I need to see what Willie is on. Me and Willie D might have to have a conversation because it seemed like y'all keep telling me, I haven't seen it myself, but y'all keep telling me he on the opposite end of the spectrum as far as this whole issue.
Government there, the government of Delcy Rodriguez, will be turning over, as he says, 30 to 50 million barrels of sanctioned oil to the U.S., which the president says will be sold here at its market price. He said it'll be taken by storage ships and brought directly to docks in the U.S. He adds that the money will be controlled by, in his words, me, to ensure that it's used to benefit the people of both Venezuela and the U.S. To give you a broad sense here, the U.S. produces roughly 13 million barrels a day. So the number he's talking about is roughly 3 or 4 days worth of oil.
So basically what I translate that to mean is that it cost us $1 billion to come over here and do the Lord's work for you niggas. We had to oust Maduro. And so now y'all got to pay us back and cover that cost with a little bit of interest. And then we can start getting money together. So it's going to cost y'all what it would take us to produce oil for 3 days. You're going to give us 3 days worth of U.S. oil. We're going to pay the cost of what it cost us to come in here and do what it is that we had to do. You happy, we happy, you was poor anyway. And so we also prevent other countries from exploiting you. And this works in both of our best interests. Let's run up a bag. Let's get a bag. Let's get a bag. It cost me a couple billion to get it popping. You're going to give us 3 to 4 days worth of oil of what we produce in a day. And then we're going to keep it moving.
Clearly, this is going to raise questions about the future of the relationship between the U.S. and Venezuela. The president has said getting access to Venezuela's oil supply and rebuilding its infrastructure there, Gotti, is a priority even before holding elections. In his interview with NBC News this week, he suggested American oil companies would be reimbursed for the money that they spend there. We should note that we have now learned that the Energy Secretary, Chris Wright, is scheduled to meet with oil executives in Miami. That's supposed to happen tomorrow.
First off, I think most people are asking here, maybe the American people even outside of CNBC, is why? What do we hope to get with Venezuela and their energy and their oil?
Well, first we want to stop the importing of crime and drugs into the United States of America. We want to reduce the toehold our adversaries are gaining in the Western Hemisphere. I mean, there's a 25-page unsealed indictment for why President Nicolas Maduro was indicted. The Biden administration had a $25 million bounty on his head, but of course didn't do anything about it.
I've watched Landman before, Eric. I've seen like the first 3 or 4 episodes. And then, you know me, I be getting busy, so I don't be having the time to feed into it because we be doing frame fights on Sunday. And so I'll be actually going to the show to watch these movies so that we can review them on Sunday. So I did see the first 3 or 4 episodes. I thought it was a great series.
So the problem of Venezuela for America and, of course, for Venezuelans has just continued to get worse.
But what does oil have to do with that? What is the role of oil and energy in this?
Well, what's the role of oil and energy is in this? Is Venezuela was a major oil producer, could again be a major oil producer, and is today still a significant oil producer. And I think it's the genius of President Trump to realize 25 years of a growing problem in Venezuela, nothing did anything to address that problem. He had a creative, out-of-the-box idea, first of all, to arrest an indicted criminal, and then say, hey, we're going to use oil in commerce instead of guns and soldiers to alter the trajectory of Venezuela going forward. I think it's brilliant.
If you ever want to go to war with somebody, you don't want to go to war physically. Physical war is a sign of weakness. Financial war is a sign of strength. If you want to break somebody, then you have to break them down financially. You have to cripple them financially. At least that's what my life strategy has always been. I've always found that putting your freedom on the line or risking lives, whether it's soldier lives from the federal government or lives when it comes to real life, has always been a sign of weakness, because the first thing that people want to do whenever they get angry and emotional is they want to fight. The physical aspect of it is the way that you lose. The mental and financial way of it is the way that you win. So first of all, Pac said it best. He said, listen, if you want to go to war, you got to get your money up. I got my money up and now I'm ready for war. Now, I'm not sure that Pac actually had his money up the way that he thought that he had his money up, but you can't go to war without being financially solvent. And when you start to pay attention to the money, which is one of the reasons why you need a businessmen running the government that has no financial interest. I seen a video the other day where Trump said, listen, this ain't even about me no more. He said, bro, I have all the money that I will ever need in my entire life. At this point, it's about what's best for America. I think that people that become public servants have to truly have the public's best interests at heart. And I truly do. And everything that I believe, in all my heart, I truly believe, which is one of the reasons why I voted for Trump. I truly believe that he wants what's best for America. He wants what's best for America. I truly believe it. If you want to put pressure on Russia, okay, start cutting off their money supply. If you want to start putting more pressure on China, okay, limit the way in which they're able to take advantage of other countries. If you actually want to start putting more pressure on Iran, if you want to have more leverage, if you want to, then you do two or three things at the same time. You save the Venezuelan people. You remove a dictator. You also cut off a money supply, and you start to build your own reserves and your own. You benefit yourself financially, and Americans. You don't mess up any American money. You don't mess up any American lives. You don't leave any American equipment, and you win. You build strategic partnerships. The people are willing to really love the fact that you came in and liberated them, but they had to suffer first. If Venezuela was prosperous while having a dictator, it would be much more difficult to get the buy-in from the people. You're not hearing me. You're not listening to me. Do you know how you got to get people to buy into your program? You got to let them suffer first. You have to let them suffer. It's much more difficult to get a group of people to buy into what you have going on unless they've understood what it felt like to not have. That's why usually when you have people that work at companies, come on, I'm gonna break it down from a C student's perspective for you. When you have people that first get a job that was poor as fuck, you know what they happy to do? Just be getting a job. Oh my God, man, yes, thank you, God. Thank you. Oh man, answer to my prayers. Excited as hell. Got a job. First you get your big boy job. Now you in a great space. You feeling good about yourself. You let people get comfortable. They make money for a while and you don't reset them. You don't reestablish hierarchy. You don't reset them. You don't help them to understand. Well, now you're going to create resentment. You're going to create a situation where a person feels entitled. You owe them this. Oh, no. This is what's supposed to happen. Oh my God. Now, this is why Americans today sit there and they say, $120,000, $150,000. The poverty line is $150,000 in order for me to be comfortable. What the fuck is you talking about? Where you from? Where you from? Because we got comfortable. And when you get comfortable, you start feeling entitled. And that's when people start slacking off. They feel like you owe them this. They can do what they want. They can say what they want and still get paid. Life is good. But then you got to reset that shit. You got to reset that shit. If people are not suffering when you liberate them, they'll start to resent you. And for some reason, for whatever reason, they'll revise history to make it seem like it was okay and they was going to do fine without you. There has to be no question at all, zero question, that without you, you are nothing. You are absolutely nothing. You have to be all the way suffering and all the way defeated before you realize that, you know what? I appreciate you because without me, I would be fucked up out here. Otherwise, it's going to create resentment. No matter how good your intentions are, no matter how much you do for people, they'll never appreciate you. They'll never appreciate you. This is why you got to be a little bit toxic in relationships. Let me be quiet. I don't want to give you all of my secrets. Let's get back to this.
I think the prospects of changing Venezuela from a country that's trafficking in drugs, guns, and humans and turn it into a prosperous, representative country that's not a menace in the Western Hemisphere and that becomes a prosperous American ally.
I think most people would want Venezuela to be free. They want the people to have a better life. It used to be the richest country in Latin America. Now it's the poorest, or at least among the poorest. Yep. It's a broken, failed state would probably be a fair term.
Somebody said you look better without those big glasses. Nigga, these is prescription glasses. It helps me to see better. Nigga, I'm not trying to look good for you. The glasses look good because I'm just a stylish nigga. I'm putting them on because it helps for me to be able to see better. They're prescription lenses. These are not just for style. I said if I'm gonna get some glasses, then they're gonna be fresh as fuck. But every single piece, every glasses that I wear is prescription. I'm not doing it to make look good. Nigga, I'm doing it because I look good no matter what. I'm just a gorgeous nigga. That's just the way that it is. So, but I'm wearing them because I want to see clear.
German oil production has gone from 3.5 million to 700,000 or 800,000 a day, whatever that number may be. But what does taking their oil and then selling it have to do with helping to rebuild? Put the dots together between that news, the money, and fixing Venezuela.
Oh, you bet. So number one, we're not taking their oil. We're not taking their oil. we have put a blockade on and prevented them from selling their oil. That's choked off cash flow. They get cash from selling oil and from selling drugs and from human trafficking. So we choked off their revenue sources to get leverage over them. We're going to restart the selling of Venezuelan oil on global crude markets, put it into counts in the name of Venezuela, and bring those funds back into Venezuela for the benefit of the Venezuelan people. We're just going to control the flow of those funds so we have leverage over the people in power to drive them in a better direction.
Where then are we getting the 30 to 50 million barrels that the president initially referenced last night? And then this morning, the news that we broke was that that was going to continue indefinitely. Where then are we getting that oil?
So we put that blockade on Venezuela. They're still producing oil. They can't ship it to the world. So it's in floating storage in tankers, mostly illegal, sanctioned gray market tankers, and it's on onshore storage in Venezuela. So we are in dialogue with the Venezuelan government, saying let's work together to fix Venezuela. We got rid of the head of the gang, Nicolas Maduro and his wife. They're in prison. Work with us. Let's improve your country together. So we're going to now allow those tankers to flow, but we're going to market that crude. They fully understand this. They're a partner in doing that. We're going to allow that crude to be sold so that revenue can be generated, but then we're going to control the flow of that revenue to make sure it's going for productive reasons in Venezuela.
Let me be more direct. Is there a narrative in Venezuela?
So somebody said, I think Chevron is a good play in the short term. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm going to talk about it on the next Stock Club. We got time. Listen, Trump administration is going to be meeting with ConocoPhillips, Chevron, and the major oil companies at the White House soon. In the Patreon, I will be having a live stream in Stock Club. Do not, in the short term, before I break it down as to why, and we're going to look at the charts, we're going to look at the debt, we're going to look at everything. You know what we do inside of Stock Club. So if you're not a part of the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Don't do it. I'm going to just tell you right now, hold your horses, stay still. If anybody has been a part of Stock Club, and if you've been a part of the Patreon over the last 3 to 4 years, you know that we have not lost and we ran up a crazy bag. Trust me. Trust me. I'm going to help y'all make sure that y'all continue to be successful. We've never, ever, ever, ever had anything less than at least an 18 to 25% growth rate in our portfolio every fucking year. Every year. And we killed it on Rivian before the end of the year. So if you are a part of Stock Club, if you are a Patreon member, I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to allow for you to be able to make your own decisions. But I am going to show you and tell you and help you to understand why we are not investing in this regardless of what they do over in Venezuela. All right? But we'll get there later. Again, make sure y'all hit the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. And we going to get there. All right? Let me read some of these super chats. It's a lit show today. I'm having fun. I don't know. It's something about the West Coast. Something about the West Coast that just get me popping. Do you think there is an upcoming play in oil and energy stocks for the companies Trump wants to? I'm going to tell you which companies I think is going to benefit, but that is still safe to invest in from a long-term perspective. Again, a lot of this is short-term plays that people are trying to take advantage of. We'll get to that. The taxpayer says poor legacy. Trump doesn't take a salary from the U.S. to taxpayers. Upper Echelon says, can you do a corporate Patreon video on starting a contracting business, like in the video 41323 in the Patreon? Thanks. Yeah, I can expand on that. I can do an updated version of that. Oil. Who the F said something about oil? You cooking. Shout out to Laymar on air. I appreciate you also. So this is the sentiment, as I said in the beginning of the show, that I like to integrate into the show of the people as far as how the Venezuelan people actually feel about Trump speaking about oil, utilizing their oil, the partnership, and everything. All right. So here's a little bit of a history as well as a reaction from a woman that is a Venezuelan and how she feels about this whole situation.
No, I'm from Venezuela. I had a friend send me a question, so I actually want to read this to you and kind of want to see my opinion and perspective. I'm happy to share that with y'all. And it says, hey, I just wanted to pick your brain about the Venezuelan situation. How does the country feel about the Maduro takedown? He was a horrible dictator. Are they okay with the U.S. running the country, or will someone under Maduro take over? Is this a wait-and-see situation? I love that the dictator is gone from there. What he was doing was horrible, but I'm concerned as to where they go from here. And oil should bring more resources and revenue to Venezuela, but I'm afraid it will benefit the U.S. more than there. What are your thoughts? First of all, I have immediate family that still live in Venezuela, so I got the scoop, baby. My family is very happy. Everybody that live there are happy, celebrating. There was no hope for a young person to have a career or anything. People walking, they would get their phones looked over by, the police to make sure that they were not saying anything by the government. We're not allowed to say anything, post anything bad about the government. Let's just say that. None of that freedom of speech we have here. People able to say Trump is an asshole, Biden's an asshole. Like, back home, you didn't have that. So first and foremost, they wanted Maduro gone because he has brought so many deaths, so many horrible things to the people.
Look at this. We sitting here. See, now y'all can't hold me accountable no more. Y'all can't hold me accountable no more. You know why? Because y'all just like me. I just so happen to be the one with the microphone. This is what I'm saying. They can't get past a pretty face and a small waist and a little bit of an accent. It's saying, damn, Trump needs to get her back in the country. She bad. Oh, I like the Spanish accent. Maybe she can teach me Spanish personally. You see how you get distracted? So don't sit there and look, I love Latinas. What the fuck that got to do with what she talking about as far as Venezuela and Trump and oil? Y'all so distracted. Y'all are so distracted. We talking about oil in Venezuela. First, no. First, y'all tried to hold me accountable. Anton, your boxalitis is flaring up. You got to stay focused. Don't fall. Stay done. And y'all niggas is the same as me. Y'all are the same as me. Y'all are the exact same as me. She's giving y'all all of the game on Venezuelan oil. And y'all over here talking about, man, she bad. What about her accent? Trump need to get more of them from over there. Then they gonna hold me accountable. You know what I'm saying? Hi, my name is Anton and I have boxalitis. That's why I can't be in no different place for longer than 2-3 days at a time, because I'll be like, you know what? I'm not about to be out here just sitting around. Bed empty. You can tell what side of the bed I slept on. What side of the bed I sleep on? What side of the bed I sleep on? That one. Because that pillow all still fluffed up. Ain't a pillow in sight. Just out here, bed empty as fuck. I said, man, I'm about to get home. My guy, listen, I'm going to come out here and do this interview. I might have to fly back to the crib. I'm not about to be sitting out here with my bed empty. Where my West Coast ladies? I just need you as a muse. I just need you as a muse. I don't want nothing from you. I just want you to sit there and look good so that when I look over, I say, all right, okay. And then I can stay focused. Pillows all fucking fluffed up. I don't need no fluffed up pillows. You know what I'm saying? Let's focus. Fellas, we got to stay focused.
Having to eat food that was gone, like that had gone bad with worms, having to go through garbage to be able to find something to eat. Insanity, like crazy shit that you don't expect from a country that has an oil reserve the way Venezuela has. How do I feel about who's going to run the country? I'll tell you what my dad said to me. Do not celebrate. Let's just see what Trump is going to say. The moment he said the United States will run until we...
I love it when y'all sit in the chat and y'all start telling Venezuelans how they live in their life, what they people are like back home, how they comment and having a conversation. Bro, she's telling you that despite the fact that them having the largest oil reserves, some of the largest oil reserves in the world, they were scavenging for fucking food. This is real communism, real socialism. That they were being plundered, destroyed, that they're excited about the Trump administration coming in and partnering with them to help them continue to extract the oil while at the same time establishing accounts and allowing for both of us to be able to get rich as a result of it. She's telling you that, listen, we are excited. We can't wait for Trump and their business partners to come in here and do something great for the country.
No, someone will take over that is not going to continue the same thing with Maduro. My dad was so happy. To be honest with you, if Trump decided to say, I'm going to take Venezuela, Venezuelans will be fine. Venezuelans will be so happy because at the end of the day, they want to be able to be prosperous.
The Venezuelans want to be like Americans. Shout out to High Tolerance. I'm appreciating you, bro. I'm going to read that super chat shortly. Venezuelans want to be like Americans. If Trump came in and said, hey, man, Venezuela is the 50th state, they would be like, oh, yes. We get rights, we get democracy, we get the opportunity to be able to run up a bag, we get all of this other type of stuff. We get all of this other... They would love what we take for granted every single day. What we take for granted in leadership every single day. Other countries is like, we wish we had somebody that stood up for the way that he's standing for America. We wish we had somebody that stood up for us the way that Trump stands up for and demand and blesses America. Other people like, man, we wish we had a Trump. We sitting here dealing with these fucking liberals every single day. They wish they had them a Trump, but they don't. And we do. And we don't appreciate it.
In a country that has the resources that is not prosperous, it's like, for us, it's like insanity. But they want the U.S. to run it until someone like Maria Corina would take over, or Edmundo, which was the president they elected last year, would take over. Like, as they want the U.S. to kind of help with the transition. For your other thing that they're saying, the resources will benefit the U.S. more than Venezuelans. Let's do a little history lesson. Back in the 1940s or 50s, when they first found the gas in Venezuela, Venezuela was an agricultural country. They didn't have the resources, knowledge, infrastructure to do anything with gas. The U.S. was the one that sent the infrastructure, the resources, the money, just how Trump is doing now. They did that back in the day. And yes, did they, benefit from that? Absolutely. But so did the Venezuelans. Venezuela became one of the richest countries in South America. A lot of Venezuelans used to love going to the U.S. and just buy everything. And the U.S. people love to come to Venezuela and just spend all the money, traveling and the tourism. So it was a mutual beneficial relationship. Venezuelans don't care that Trump is going to benefit from this. China and Russia were benefiting from our oil resources. Venezuelans were not. The infrastructure Venezuela has now, it doesn't work anymore. It is so outdated. They're not able to filter the oil in the best way they could do now. So that's why Trump is like, you know what? I'm going to send you all the resources and get that shit working so we can get that gas. Yes, it's going to help the U.S., but it's also going to help the Venezuelans. And Venezuela was taking care of Cuba. Venezuela was sending oil to China. Venezuela was sending oil to Russians. Venezuela was sending oils to the Iranians. They had a bunch of Iranian people in the country. The Russians were training in the country, and everything was happening because they wanted to start a war against the US. So the fact that Trump moved and was like, bitch, get the fuck out of here, it's good. Am I happy that Trump took Maduro out? Yeah, very happy. Are Venezuelans happy? We're still celebrating. I'm still crying about it. I have hope that I can take my son to meet his country, to see his country.
Now, see, there you go. She's a mama. Is she still as attractive as y'all thought that she was? Maybe you can start to hear what she says now. She want to take her son to see his country. Y'all niggas still going.
Know where his parents came. I'm going to cry. Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
So the Venezuelans are happy. The people are happy. The country is happy. Everybody is happy that the Trump administration came in and said and did what it is that they did. And the only people that are complaining about it is liberal apologists. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read some of these super chats and cash apps, and then we're going to go from there. James Smith says, because we don't care about what women say in politics. Shout out to James Smith. Wesley Turner says, Cortez took one look at her and says, Diego, burn the boats. High tolerance. What up, high tolerance? We miss high tolerance. We do. We ain't seen high tolerance in a long time. Prayers up for the bro. He says, Happy New Year, AD and the Chasers. I've been off the grid, focused on mom since her stroke on October 19th. Prayers up for your mom, man. And we bless her. We pray for her to have a full recovery, to be better than she was before she had the stroke, bro. God bless, bro. God bless for your mom, man. Everybody say a quick prayer for high tolerance and his mom, man. Slow road since till now, as she is at 25% mobility on her left side. I'll try tapping in on the fly if times allow. Shout out to ARK Coop, your car, ABJ, and Slimmy. Much love. To God be the glory. Hey, high tolerance. Let me say this too, bro. Let me say this too. That when you go through things, and I understand that you have a lot of time that you have to dedicate to your family, I want you to remember this, that I used to do this too. Like I used to go off the grid when I felt like I had to deal with things and so on and so forth. But what I recently figured out, probably within the last maybe 7-8 years, is that my strength comes from the people that surround me and pray for me and hold me down. So you don't have to go through anything by yourself. Just remember that. I know you're dealing with it, how you got to deal with it. We don't know the details, and we're going to pray for you and keep you held up. But remember this, man. The bag chasers is more than just money. We're more than just information when it comes to how to leverage your portfolio or how to level up in corporate America. We a prayer group. We a community, bro. We a group of people that actually hold each other down, man. We connect with people once we meet up at the meetups and stay connected in our regions and in our cities. So remember that you don't have to go through nothing alone, bro. We got prayer circles. We got connections. We got people that hold you down. I don't never want anybody that goes through anything to feel like they got to go through anything by themselves when you got a community of people that'll hold you down, bro. So remember that, man. Remember that you are not ever alone when you're amongst the chasers. We don't look at you the same way that the world sees you. We see you as a brother. We see you as a friend. We see you as a connection. And, you know, that's what we do. We hold each other down. Straight up. When everybody take from you, we all pour into you. So just remember that. Just remember that. When I say connect in the Discord, stay connected in the Discord, and the link to the Discord is in the description of any of the most recent videos inside of the Patreon. That's why I say stay connected to the Discord. It's more than a community. We friends. All right? So remember that. I love you, bro. Informative as usual. Thanks, AD, says Michael Armstrong. I appreciate you, Mike. Let me see something before I get into this next segment. Shout out to Conscious Frequencies. Said, I want to send you merch for my store. I think my address is in the description of the video. So if you want to send me anything, my address is in the description of the video. All right. All right, y'all. Let's continue on with the show. Prayers up for my dog, High Tolerance. One more thing that I want to get into. All right. It's been an incredible year, an incredible first year for America and resetting the course and doing great things. It's been an incredible first year for the Trump administration. I don't think we've ever had a better first year, ever. Ever. I don't think we've ever had a better first year in a president, whether they are in office or was in office for the first time or reelected. I don't think that we've ever had a better first year, ever. And as much as Democrats want to try to deny that this guy is winning, he is winning in every single facet of how he's running the government. Every single facet of how he's running the government. And it's not even just for his rich friends. You can't even say that this is for the people that donated the most to his campaign or for his rich friends. You can't say that because Trump has now said that he's banning institutional investors, working on banning institutional investors from being able to purchase housing. What did I say? I said this a long time ago. I've been saying this for years, that one of the things that you are competing against is institutional investors, which is driving up the prices. We don't need more housing to be built. We just need to, A, deal with affordability, B, rethink what we need housing for and how much house that we need, and C, another thing that factors into it is our reliance on banks also competing against institutional investors. Competing against institutional investors that see housing as an investment opportunity for them to be able to park money so that it's not as volatile depending on what the market is happening or doing right now. And I've done several different shows showing you down in Georgia, over in this state, over in that state, that they've been buying all of these houses. They don't go to, guess where they don't go in and do it? They don't go in and buy it from Florida. You know why? Because they understand the market in Florida. Guess what institutional investors are not buying houses at? California. Institutional investors are not en masse purchasing houses in California. You know where they are? Two of the biggest states that they're purchasing housing in? Texas, Georgia, and now they're starting to move up to the Midwest, which limits and it drives up the pricing. It limits the housing availability and it drives up the pricing. And so what did Trump do? He said, listen, I'm going to start attacking it at its core because there is no true way that the federal government can stop people from pricing their houses from what they're pricing their house, but they can start to deal with institutions and systems that are pricing you and keeping you from being able to purchase a home. So let's get into it. Trump is looking to ban institutional investors from buying housing and competing with individuals from being able to do that.
This morning, a potential game changer in the housing market. President Trump says he wants to slam the door on Wall Street investors buying single-family homes.
Increasingly over the last 4 or 5 years, I think America is short essentially like 4 million homes, and that's translating into real affordability issues.
Trump announcing plans to ban institutional investors from snatching up real estate and driving up housing prices, saying for a very long time, buying and owning a home was considered the pinnacle of the American dream. That American dream is increasingly out of reach for far too many people. Wall Street said to be blindsided by Trump's move. Companies like Blackstone and other major landlords seeing their stock prices drop. Trump pushing
This is the president for the people. This is the president for the people. I'm looking for a specific investment, seeing what their stock is doing. the stock market. Just looking up something really quickly. I want to see what the numbers are on some of these companies. PLD. Up. Equinix, EQINX. Okay. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about in Stock Club. A lot to talk about in
Congress to
Stock Club.
approve the ban, saying people live in homes, not corporations. Senator Chuck Schumer responding, saying Senate Democrats tried to do this last year. Republicans blocked.
Oh my God. These people are insufferable. They just can't take the fact that Trump is just winning and winning and winning and winning. And they are insufferable. God damn Democrats, y'all are the worst ever. Hey, learn to take your L and just say Trump is winning, bro. Trump is winning at the biggest level ever. Oh my God, Trump derangement syndrome. Can't never just say, yeah, man, I think that this is a good idea. We need to work together. And then all of the American people. Hey, man, Democrats, we tried to do that one time. Hey, remember? Chuck. No. Remember that one time we tried to do it. You don't remember? Well, we did. Shout out to Courtney Egger.
At the
Marie,
heart of the
super chat
issue,
shortly.
affordability for first-time home buyers. The median price of an existing home in the U.S. now tops $400,000.
Somebody said, wasn't that Kamala's campaign promise? Wasn't that just a Kamala campaign promise? Kamala Harris promised to build more new homes. Her campaign promise was not that she was going to stop institutional investors. That wasn't the core of her campaign promise. The core of, trust me, I covered the election like never before. The core of Kamala Harris's campaign was we're going to build, and I remember the exact number. She said they are going to build 3 million new homes in order to lower the prices for homes. She said she was going to build 3 million new homes. That's what she said. I'm going to build 3 million new homes. 3 million new homes. I'm going to cover the new COPA laws in New York. Oh, they so bad. Tomorrow, we're going to get into the COPA laws. We're going to dig more into a lot of what's happening in housing, New York, all of that stuff. COPA laws in New York are basically this. If somebody wants to sell their property, they basically, let's say, for example, they wanted to sell a building or whatever like that, or their apartment or anything, then they first have to offer it to nonprofits. Nonprofits, if and denied, over the next 30 to 60 days, I believe, if they then say, hey, listen, if the person denies selling it to a nonprofit at the price that they offer it, then they can put it on the market. And then if and when they do sell it, the nonprofits, they have to re-offer it back to the nonprofits at the price that they agreed on. For a private investor or institutional investor, they have to put it back on the market to the nonprofit for the price that they agreed on. So the nonprofits then get a second right of refusal. So basically, you're going to be, and there's more to it, and so I'm going to break it down tomorrow. Basically, you're going to be tied up for over a year in trying to sell a property in New York because they are trying to take people's properties and have it ran by nonprofits. It's crazy. I've been studying it. I'm going to break it down for y'all. We're going to talk about it on the Millionaire Morning Show tomorrow because this is the greatest show on earth. This is why y'all need to continue to make sure that you're getting your news from the source. I'm going to break it down from a C student's perspective so that we all can truly understand it, because they try to throw a bunch of lingo in there, but I'm going to help you to realize what's really going on and why you should or shouldn't invest in certain areas, whether you're trying to go into REITs or if you're just trying to do individual investing, or if you're a commercial, trying to invest commercially, or you're trying to start a business. All right?
$1,000 with mortgage rates near 6%. But critics say large investors own just 1% to 3% of single-family homes. And they say Trump's proposal does not address other big issues like the shortage of new building projects and skyrocketing construction costs.
We're talking about a really small...
You can't please these people. You can never, ever please these people. Trump is continuously introducing legislation as well as executive bans or promises and putting together the framework to solve for one at a time, in addition to all of the rest of this stuff, how he's going to fix housing and make it easier for people to be able to afford a home. And people are still complaining. He said, listen, we need to put pressure on the Fed in order to lower interest rates, and people still complain. He said, we're going to ban institutional investors, and people still complain. Like, what the fuck y'all want? He's everywhere all at the same time, saving Venezuela, ousting people, getting investments up to $18 trillion last year alone of people investing in jobs in the United States of America, building plans, getting promises, globetrotting, fucking negotiating with Russia, stopping Iran, and fixing housing all at the same time, and y'all still whining about it. Lowered gas prices, cost of bread is cheaper. In some places, I've seen gas prices for under $2, and the people are still complaining. What the fuck else you want? Good gosh.
Small share of purchase activity and an even smaller share of the overall housing stock when it comes to these large institutional investors.
Trump says he plans to lay out more housing and affordability proposals in the coming weeks.
I'm assuming this is something that comes out of FinServ. I'm wondering your thoughts on this, where legislation might be sourced, and is this an idea that Republicans can get behind?
Well, far too many people can't afford the homes that they could have a generation ago. As we have seen interest rates continue to stay high, mortgages are more difficult to get into, and we know we have a significant supply problem. I look forward to seeing the president's speech that he's previewing in that message when he's in Davos about exactly what his plan is. But I think it's across the board imperative that we work to make it more accessible for families to get into a home. I think the two key policies that we should be working on here on Capitol Hill are working on policies that reduce inflation so the Federal Reserve can bring down interest rates, and then working on increasing the housing supply. As we increase total supply, that is going to be our best tool to ultimately bring down costs.
But for clarity, Congressman,
they cannot control the price that people try to sell their homes for. They can control the interest rates. They can control red tape, allowing for construction to be easier. They can control and ban institutional investors en masse from being able to buy up all of the single family homes. They can do a lot of things, but you cannot tell people what they can and can't sell their property.
Investors from buying single family homes as outlined by the president. And can you give us any insight into whether or not this was a surprise? Was this dropped in Congress's lap, or was House Financial Services, for example, given a heads up beforehand?
Well, there's been obviously a lot of discussion for a long time about whether or not institutional investors should be buying single-family homes and what the implications are into the broader cost structure across the country. The president, in his message moments ago, said he's going to provide additional details in a couple weeks. I look forward, like many others, to seeing exactly what that would look like. Again, to me, the biggest thing that we can be doing in Washington is reducing inflation to lower interest rates and working to increase total housing supply by removing, in particular, regulatory red tape. So I look forward to seeing the proposal, evaluating it when we do, but working broadly to make sure that we are working to make housing more affordable and accessible to families in the United States.
Somebody said, what good is it if you can't bring the prices down? So the logic or the thinking is that if you have a larger supply, you drive down the cost. So I'll give you an example, right? Car manufacturers that hand built their cars, or car manufacturers that do one-offs, or they only build a certain amount of them per year. The cost of the car often is a lot more because you can't drive down the cost with quantity, right? You focus more on quality. If you got a handcrafted this and a hand stitched that, Well, you can't drive down the cost because the materials are going to cost more, but you can negotiate better pricing. I've been in corporate America. I have friends in corporate America that actually were buyers, right? Buyers for manufacturing companies, whether you're talking about manufacturing of steel and certain things like that, or if you're talking about assembly companies, which our auto manufacturers have largely become assembly companies. They are not manufacturers. They're not really auto manufacturers. The manufacturing of most of the parts come from suppliers, right? But they have people that they hire that they call buyers. Now, buyers go in and they negotiate all of the different thousands of parts that goes into your car, right? They go and negotiate with foreign companies. They negotiate with auto manufacturers and suppliers. They take bids. And so those are buyers. But the more that they can produce in mass, the more that they can drive the cost down. So the reason why you're able to buy a Model 3 or a Model Y at cost is because they are able to en masse produce them in multiple different places, which drive down the cost because it allows for them to have better negotiating power. Well, they're taking that same approach, slightly different, but the same approach to housing and manufacturing. The more that they can enable and drive down costs, whether that be interest rates or the cost of goods and materials and lumber and labor and all of that stuff, right? The more that they can get up, the more that it will actually drive down the cost of housing, because most of housing is the land that you're purchasing and producing it on, right? It's also the cost that's associated with it, especially when it comes to certain areas and certain environments. Housing in California, you can get a little shack. I seen a video that recently popped up where it was a property in Aspen that they were asking $18 million for, and it looked like a house that was no bigger than 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom on a small street. Most of it you're buying in the area. Another part of it is that you need industry, you need infrastructure, you need roads, you need certain environments. You need it to be built in places that's not already built out. If you come over here to Los Angeles, it ain't no land to purchase for you to actually be able to build housing over here. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of factors that go into building homes. That's why you see whole cul-de-sacs popping up, all of that type of stuff. And so it's a big thing, and there's a lot of layers to it when it comes to housing. You can't just introduce legislation like over in New York and say, hey, can't nobody sell their property for this amount. That's not how it works. There's systems and industries and things that happen behind the scenes and a lot of factors that go into the cost of your home depending on where you purchasing a home at. And I think that this is a great first step. Preventing institutional investors from buying up gluts of home and then putting them on the market at rates that other people can't compete at. That's almost like having a monopoly. Because if you control the market, then you control the pricing. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Hopefully, you guys learned something today and you were entertained. Are you not entertained? I am Mr. B. Jefferson says getting married soon. Can use some pointers. I can give you some general pointers because I don't know what your circumstance or your situation is. All right, first general pointer, how you start off is how you're going to have to maintain. So do not start off with the speed of an Olympic sprinter. The Bible says the race isn't given to the swift, but he who endureth to the end. This is a long-term race, baby. It's a long-term race, all right? So be very, very careful how you start off. Do not start off, I'll give you the sun, the moon, the stars. Don't do that. Don't do that. Under promise, over deliver. That's my life philosophy. So that's a general principle. The second thing that I think that every person needs to have, even if you don't have anything, because it makes it easier for y'all to be able to focus on the things that really matter in a marriage, and you don't have to start worrying about what if and what should and all of this stuff. So I think that everybody should get a prenuptial agreement. It's not about protecting assets. It's about having clarifications about what happens in the event of a divorce. And most other cultures have it. For whatever reason, we just keep depending on love. A prenuptial agreement is for her and it's for you. All right. And then I think that if y'all don't have a prenuptial agreement, for those of you that don't, I think that a good business decision is to get a post-nuptial agreement. A post-nuptial agreement. All right. The third thing that I would say is, let me give you a third one. There's so many different third things I can pick from. I can go with money. I can go with relationships. I can go with all of that. Here, I'll do this one. I think that this is a very important one. Third thing is think hard and long and take your time. Unless you've already done it, about having children. We spend so much time focusing on whether or not people should get married and dick and pussy conversations, and we almost spend zero time talking about the impact of having a child. If you get married and you don't feel like it's working out for you, no harm, no foul, everybody go their own separate ways. If you get married and you have a child or children, you can't really break up. Not unless something egregious happens. Because the children didn't ask to be here, and you've now committed yourself basically for a lifetime to ensure that you're going to do the thing that's in the best interest of the children. So before you ever do that, take some time, chill out, live with each other, hang out, all of that type of stuff. And you need to start evaluating y'all circumstances and situation based off of what that looks like. If y'all having children, is she gonna stay home? How long does she stay home? Does she stay home until the children wind up becoming old enough to go to school full time? You know, it's a lot of factors. Do y'all have the community, the family? What does that look like? So those are the conversations is not so deep when it comes to deciding whether or not you want to get married. The longer, deeper conversation is deciding what it looks like if you have children. And I think that a lot of people miss out on that part of the conversation. So there you go. Hope I gave you your $2 worth. I just gave you $1 million worth of game. Courtney Egger, my guy, says Anton early on went 3K subs. When you saw creators with real motion and strong communities, what internal framework kept you focused instead of comparing timelines? Not asking from doubt, but for builders who don't say this out loud but need to hear it. I never compared myself against other people that I thought were ahead of me. I used them for inspiration. I just learned and adapted. I was always my own person, right? Because a lot of times when people compare themselves, what they're comparing to, because see, they're not learning, they're not evolving, they're not getting inspiration. They just bothered at the fact that other people are winning. And so a lot of times they're not able to find their niche because they're so focused on what another person's niche is. Remember when Kevin Samuels blew up and then everybody wanted to be like Kevin Samuels, and Kevin Samuels basically created a economy, right? It was people that were dedicated to the only thing that they ever did. I mean, if Kev didn't stream, niggas was starving out here in these streets because so many people was focused on doing what Kevin did. Instead of finding their own wave, instead of experimenting, instead of trying to figure out what works for them, they was focused on what worked for Kevin. And although Kevin was a great inspiration, you not Kev. And that's when people started to say, oh man, who gonna be the next Kevin Samuels? Nobody. There is no other Kevin Samuels. Even when people tried to say, Kevin copied my style. If people are inspired by talking points, nigga, Kevin copies nobody's style because nobody can be like Kevin, respectfully. I don't believe that anybody can talk money the way that I talk money. I don't know. I don't believe that anybody can keep it as real when it comes to breaking things down from a C student's perspective. That's my niche. That's my talent. And I can apply it to anything, whether we're talking about politics, relationships, or culture. That's my niche. That's what I do. That's why I don't worry about anybody doing what I do, because I'm uniquely me. Kev is uniquely Kevin. Kevin, ain't nobody had a finesse, the style, the breakdown, the reactions that he reacted to women, all of that type of stuff. Like, it's just something you can't teach. You can give somebody all of the game, all of the talking points, and then they have to be themselves. And Kevin was uniquely him. And I be thinking to myself, nigga, you could have never been Kevin. If you came before Kevin and he took some of the talking points, but the thing that he morphed into, nigga, you could never morph into. He could do you, but you couldn't do him. Nigga, you couldn't. I see these cornball ass niggas today right now. And I like the inspiration, but they try to be just like Kev. You can't even wear the same suits that Kevin wore. You don't shop at the same stores that Kevin shopped at. Kev, it's so funny. I'll give you a story. I'll tell you one story. Me and Kev had completely different styles when it came to watches. I like plain Jane, Rolexes, old school, Coogee sweaters, that type of thing, right? Gucci, 80s, inspired by 80s dope dealers, drug dealers, Detroit style, all of that stuff. When I first introduced Kevin to the watch game, and he was asking me questions, and he was like, yo, listen, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And you'll never put a diamond in your watch? I said, nah, we don't do bust downs at all. It devalues the watch. And so I was talking to him and having a conversation with him about watches. And so Kev experimented with Rolexes, right? And so Kev was like, yeah, I got this. And sometimes we would go to New York, and we had a certain place that we shopped at for watches and stuff like that, right? Sometimes I couldn't go, and then sometimes I could go. Sometimes we would be down in Florida in the design district, all of that type of stuff, right? Kev learned the game about watches, but what Kev determined was Kev was not a Rolex guy. Kevin wasn't a Rolex guy. Kevin was an AP guy. It was more sleek, and it fit his style perfectly. I'm more Rolex, gaudy a little bit, whatever. I like gold, everything, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it, hate it, that's my style. That's what I roll with. Kevin was more like neutral colors, suits, let the gray come in, sleek, AP watch, AP wearing. So Kev said, yo, I like this Rolex, this one. He would pick a couple of them, but Kev loved APs. Kev loved APs way more than he loved Rolexes. And so the thing that he would ask is, man, I wonder if it's going to hold the same value as a Rolex or whatever. But Kev uniquely did what Kev did. Some of them don't, some of them do. It depends on the ones that you get. APs don't always cost more. No, they don't. They don't cost more than Rolexes. It depends on the style. It depends on the brand. It depends on the exact watch. It depends on the history of the watch itself, all of that stuff. So, but anyways, Kev wanted to learn as much as he possibly could, and then he adapted, and he was able to choose it for him, his style, the way that he rolled things, the way that he wore stuff. So my point is when you're looking at, to answer your question more, when you're looking at certain things and you're looking at other creators, what I'm saying is look to them to learn, but don't look to them to become them. You are going to uniquely find your own niche, your own way, your own style, and you'll figure it out. It takes time. It takes experimentation. It takes a little, you know what I'm saying? It takes evolution. Look to them for inspiration. I was inspired by a lot of people, but I'm nothing like most of these people. I was inspired by E.T., C.T. Fletcher. I came up watching a lot of different people. I watched Fousey Tube and, all of those guys in their era, and I seen them evolve. I seen the Logan Paul era. I seen, different people start platforms or whatever, so on and so forth. And so, but I'm nothing like these people because, I've evolved and I've adapted and I understand who I am and what makes me unique. And those are the things that I talk about. That's why the Millionaire Morning Show is the Millionaire Morning Show. That's why I said that I didn't want an alias. I'm not looking to do, some fake name. I like my name. I'm Anton Daniels. And so I was like, yo, I'm just Anton Daniels. I'm not Anton the Great or Anton the this or Anton that. No, I'm Anton Daniels. And I'm a money-getting motherfucker. And so this is, you know what? Shit, this ain't no morning show. This is the Millionaire Morning Show. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's just me. I talk big shit. I always talk big shit. I've been talking big shit my entire life. Nigga, I wore Gucci loafers in high school. I wore Coogis in high school. Nigga, I've been doing this for a long fucking time. So you can't teach what I do because I am uniquely me. I live this. This is my experience. I love the hoes. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Become uniquely you based off of you. So that's what I think that makes it unique. That's what I think that people need to focus on as creators. Let's see what we got here. Anton, my cousin, is about to leave for Osaka, Japan. Osaka's dope. Tomorrow as a cook. I remember you seeing you in Japan a while back. Any advice for him? Embrace the culture. Embrace the culture, adapt to the culture, embrace the culture, and learn as much as you possibly can. Just enjoy it. Enjoy it and embrace the culture. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to make Japan America or Osaka or America. Be uniquely you and just and adapt and learn as much as you can about the culture and appreciate what it is that's different. Brian, the filmmaker, says not only that, Trump also said in the not too distant future there will be no income tax, and he also is going to cut U.S. trade deficit in half. He's the GOAT. I agree. Ted Coach Ralph says, I'm surprised they didn't say he's only doing it to benefit himself. You know they lost when the comeback is not fair. We tried to do it first. Talk to him. You are 100% right. Bad Habit says passport bros gearing up to shimmy to Venezuela now. Can we get some insight on creating a trust? We can talk about it inside of the Patreon. Yeah, absolutely. I can talk about it in the Patreon. All right. Like I'll give you an example here. Philadelphia underdog 7217 says Anton is just telling you how to invest in the white man's culture, but he needs to learn there's a country club that don't benefit black or benefit black or benefit black or Latinos believes. Philadelphia underdogs. We let him be. He's like the bad kid in the class that is a little slower than everybody else, a little bit more Tourette's. We give him a toy and we let him run around. And so he comes from platform to platform. And he says crazy stuff. A lot of times he copies and pastes what he's going to say. And we cool with the slower kids. You know, it's a place for them too. And we just pray for him. We allow for him to run around inside of the chat and say crazy stuff because he doesn't add any value. You know, he always says stuff crazy that is not necessarily meaningful 100% of the time. But we hope that at some point, or maybe, you know, he does it without even knowing it, take some of the things that he's learned and that we rub off on him and we influence him in a positive way. And so some people are dusty and it takes them a little bit longer to get themselves together. And then eventually, hopefully they get themselves, you know, they evolve and they become a better version of themselves. It's so old and tired to talk about the white man's and white man's this and white man's that. But again, we love retarded people too, just as much as we love high IQ people. Everybody is worthy of love. And we're going to embrace them all the same. And we're not going to censor people. So shout out to all of the slower people in the chat that's so focused on the white man. And I hope that you guys become a better version of yourself. All right? Okay. That's so played out. So played out. The white man's. Let me see what else we got going on. All right, y'all. So that's it. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. After hours is tonight. I need to get some rest. I'm operating off of like 3 hours of sleep. I need to sleep on both sides of the bed too. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We on After Hours tonight. Back on the Millionaire Morning Show tomorrow. Oh, I got to do Adam 22 tomorrow too, or No Jumper in the afternoon. Anyways, love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace. Be easy. Oh, let me read this last one. Oh, prayer. Listen, Lord, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Free us not, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. We bless you. We love you. We appreciate you for protecting us from the things that we know not of, and continue to keep us prosperous, in good spirits, in great health, in Jesus' name. Amen. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm holler at y'all later.